today, just discussing this whole thing. How Grampy Lobster died, I guess, today. And the only way I know is I just check my notifications. And MrzParkerInc, I guess I'm subscribed to her, was discussing this. And then I go in there and they bring me up. And I said how I knew Grampy Lobster from when he went at Elvis Travels. And they seemed to be like, oh, Jesus. Like they didn't know what to say to that or something. And then Von Helton was someone who he went after. Um, but Von Helton is usually their focus, and it was Grampy Lobster's focus. That's all the content they had was pretty much on Von Helton, who is an OG, by the way. Von Helton is an OG. I have to give Von Helton credit for hanging around this long. As bad as some people think he might be in all this, I don't disagree with the endless bashing of him. I'll say that right now. I don't agree with the endless bashing of Von Helton. He always battled people on here, I noticed, and it was always amusing to watch. I liked it from a viewer perspective. Von Helton brought content from a viewer perspective back in the day, but I haven't watched him as of more recent. So the only thing I know, Grampy Lobster was a New England guy. He was from Rhode Island. Supposedly he was a deadbeat dad, then turned his situation around, by the way, which I found that out a little more today. And stuff like that. But since they kicked me off panel because I wasn't talking about Grampy Lobster's death or mourning him, I guess, today, they didn't want me up there at all. Like, this isn't the stream for I'm not doing nothing wrong. They booted me, and I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I come back in, I instigate things a little bit. Sure, I'm like, you're gonna need a new star now of your show. It seems rather boring here now. You're gonna need a new star of your show now that he's not here. Um, but the people in the side chat, like a few notable names, were trying to instigate with me, and then when I talked back to them, I got 2 timeouts when I was in there. 2 timeouts when I was in there. They got a decent viewership over there. 165 viewers they were getting. So many people had to have seen me in there for sure. And just that little introduction alone could make a big difference, because I don't want to go to Kermit and Friends. I'll tell you that. I don't want to go there. So naturally, I saw this stream got a high amount of viewers, 165, talking about Grampy Lobster's death. And then meanwhile, I observed the community, I observed the conversations, I observed the people on panel and stuff like that. And yeah, since he went, they're going to need a new star to make things a little less boring over there for sure. Who could be that next? That's what I see now. And all that. Whether they do that or not, I mean, I'm not forcibly, but I just wanted to plant a seed out there to see what they got to say about that at another point. And I would not be endlessly going at Von Helton either. I would not. I would change the focus up a bit. Less going at Von Helton and more trying to find solutions on how to make people not like that. Just with younger generations in this country, how to not turn them into people like Von Helton, but meanwhile showing mercy on Von Helton a little bit, because he's an OG, you know what I'm saying? I don't think all this endless attacking of Von Helton is okay. I just don't. And I'm going to say that now. I'm going to say that. Whether you like him or hate him, you love him or you hate him, there's people who are fans of him. I know that for a fact. There are, I don't think many, but that he does have, I think, a small fan club, if I had to say, that he does. But no. If all you talk about is one person, I don't care who it is, you're giving them content and you're just making them. So maybe Von Helton will now be irrelevant with Grampy Lobster's death. You ever think of that? You ever think this could have a positive effect to it too? That Von Helton may not be getting endless attention anymore. You ever think of that? Because I'm not going to take his place and do that. I'm not going to make videos going at Von Helton. I'm not going to do that. But I may want to go to Vaughn's channel now to see how he reacts to this. I mean, I may want to just see that and see what's going on now. But Miss Parker's community is going to be a boring community now. It is destined to go to the dumps and be a boring community. And I just offered myself, not at first though, not when I first came up there, but when they kicked me and I had I got kicked in the side chat also and off the panel, then 2 times in the side chat. And then, so now I wanted to rub a little salt in the wounds. That's right. And I'm like, you're going to need to start or replace him now because your show is so boring. Literally. So that's what I said the second time before I got kicked the second time in there. So I think you let him be bored, and just, I'm going to watch the show though. Now I can't wait to see what Vaughn Helton's got to say about this, because now this is something new I just stumbled upon, a new community that I haven't really been in. I mean, they're kind of connected. They're not connected to the point, but Grampy Lobster has done commentary on Elvis Travels in the past, and that's how I first saw him a long time ago. And they were shocked that I found him that way and not through Vaughn Helton, so it kind of, it shook them up a little bit over there. And then some guy was saying, yeah, I remember when you were a racist, and you're the racist guy, right? I'm like, when? I'm like, that was a while ago. Who are you, though? Like name me a time when you were talking to me, because I don't know who you are, dude. So apparently someone did remember me on panel as being, I don't know, I guess Giovanni Sanctuary, but he didn't say that. So then I say to Miss Parker, I remember you had politicians on your channel, I think, before, right? Didn't you have David Duke on your panel? I said to her, it was somebody. I don't know who it was. So I just said, I think it was David Duke. Didn't you have David Duke up on your panel? Yeah, I remember you, Miss Parker. I saw when you interviewed a politician. Wasn't it David Duke? I think that's who it was. It was somebody like that. I was just very surprised when Miss Parker interviewed this person. Though, being a black woman, she interviewed somebody. I don't know if it was David Duke, but maybe it was, or it was somebody very similar to that. Or it was Vaughn Helton now, but it was also, I think, somebody else as well. But if all they're going to do is hate on Vaughn Helton, I'm going to tell them, you need to start or replace Grampy Lobster, but I'm not going to focus on Vaughn Helton very much. So that's, we're not going to bring in somebody just to continue talking about Vaughn Helton over and over again, I gave them something to think about at the very least. Even if nothing else comes out of this, I gave those people something to think about. Because I am an electrifying personality. I am someone that you don't just dismiss. I am somebody who, if you dismiss me, you won't forget about it for the rest of your natural born life, So that's just where I am right now and all that. So yes, I'm tweezing my face. Gonna do a product review at some point. It's long overdue. I mean, more people in there, I would say overall, respected my pronouns when I told them that I didn't want to be called he anymore. So I'd say that was one good thing. But they still do have a few instigators there in their side chat. Like Renee Smallwood or something, whatever the hell her name is. I don't freaking know. But no. I stumbled across these people today, right at the time that I'm looking to get more big. Right at the time where I'm trying to find new contacts in general. Right at the time when I found Opie and Anthony's channel. Opie this morning, probably right approximately at the time Grampy Lobster did pass away today, I found Opie Radio, a channel on YouTube that features Opie from Opie and Anthony on it. So I'm trying to find these new avenues, you could say, to go down. But no, it doesn't have to be Kermit and Friends at all by any means. That is not the one that I have any interest in. So I'm not going to be here long. It's probably going to be. No one seems to have any replies on me. It's funny because now I'm noticing there's hardly anybody in my chat now. I'm noticing I got 13 viewers and no one is typing. Nobody is saying a word, but that's fine. I can shut the show down now. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care who the 14 are. I mean, I don't know what you're looking for. I got 2 likes on this too. That's sickening. Come on, get the likes up at the very least before I shut the stream down. Get the likes up, will you? What's going on with you here? I want to see how many lurkers will like the stream. I want to see how many of them are going to like the stream. If they're just listening because they're doing something else, I guess we got 2 people like that. They're doing something else and they're just listening. And I guess the rest of these are just trolls. I don't know what to say. But I also notice Opie gets a low amount of thumbs up also for the views that he gets. And I was wondering about that. Why it seems like Opie is getting hated on, and I don't understand why now. You know? Look, I just saw Opie's channel today and rediscovered it. It's not like he got a lot of dislikes on it, actually. Or just not as many people liking up his streams or hate comments on his streams. I'm like, what's this guy doing today? Why is Opie getting a lot of hate? I'm wondering. I used to really listen to Opie and Anthony back in the day. 7 likes on this video. Okay, I got 5 new people then. Okay. 20 views, 7 likes. This is pretty much just me highlighting that there is a mourning going on revolving Grampy Lobster. How someone like him miraculously was a deadbeat dad that turned himself into a popular figurehead with a lot of support on here. How many times does that happen? Not a lot. Not very often, I will say, but he got those likes because he went at Von Helton. Now I get it. He had to go after a very hated person to get a following. He had to definitely look like the lesser evil of the 2, for sure. Because he decided to go at a very hated guy, and consistently, that's why I think these people are mourning his death. That's seriously why. You're not going to hear of another case like this, I don't think. Not too many. Just like you won't hear of too many people that are on here neck and neck for many years like me and Anderson Henderson have been. You're not going to hear too many cases like these, I don't think, right here. Like, even if Grampy Lobster wasn't a good person, there was a chance he wasn't, too. But I think that he just went and fought Helton way too much, and I think that's why he got his popularity on here. So it made him into, I guess, a better person of some kind, because he chose the so-called good way to go was to go after the most hated son of a bitch on here. In Overdrive, where he literally had to bully him. And now Von Helton now not looking as bad. That's how I interpret this to a point. It reminds me of the Nick Bravo situation too. How he's hated, he's been hated, but he's got so much hate over the years, like where it's an overkill to where there's nothing more that can be done. And what has Nick Bravo done since many years ago? What has he done? Not a lot. Has he scammed anyone in the last month or the last year? Or 2 years or 3? I think he got into his scam adventures like about 10 years ago. I think it was the last time he probably scammed someone. But yet the internet never forgets, so they keep going at the guy. And years later, it's like he even had to tell them, "You won now. I lost at everything because of you. You won now. So just leave me alone. You won." But with communities like that, they never forget. That's the thing. Um, but there comes a time or a point when people are they just spend so long since they've done something, that it's like, why are you going to continue hopping on the issue? Some people might not believe in showing any mercy to Von Helton, but I say, you know what? Show at least a little on him. That's what I say. Don't keep going at him. It's going to look so stupid now that Grampy Lobster died, and if they continue to go at him, it's going to look stupid. Because it'll just show that they only mourned his death because he kept going at Von Helton, is what this is going to show, instead of grieving as a community and moving on to something else. But it doesn't seem like they want to move on from Von Helton. But that's what I've been seeing. But if they do, well, you might have a new star who might be coming to your show more often if you want to embrace that idea. But it's going to have to take some sacrifice on your part too, from what it looks like. How you doing, Melissa? How you doing? What's up? Huh? You're the first person who's commented here in 16 minutes. I managed to have 13 likes, though, now, with 15 viewers. Isn't that an odd statistic? How now I got 13 likes in here, but you're the first commenter in here? Something strange is happening in my channel in that regard. I don't know what it is. All right, I'm ready to shut this down soon, though. I just wanted to make a quick live on how there's a stream mourning somebody, right? But the real reason why I think they're mourning him is because he went at this guy that they don't like that badly, Because if they continue to want to go after this other guy, it'll just show all the more that that's why they like this guy to begin with, that is dead, and that they're mourning his death today or something. So do you know who Miss Parker is? Do you know that channel? Because she has interviewed some people in the past. And I just don't go over there. I know that I've subbed to her, but today it caught my attention for some reason. It caught my attention. It was in my feed, so I decided to go in there and see what was going on. And then turns out she put a StreamYard link down, and I went up on camera, on panel briefly. But she abruptly kicked me off because I wasn't contributing to this discussion, apparently, of Grampy Lobster being dead or something. But I did tell him how I know Grampy Lobster, though. But apparently that wasn't good enough. Apparently they wanted me to discuss him like I knew him in order for me to be on their panel. I don't think I've ever come across a live stream like that before, ever. I don't think so, honestly. Well, I answered their questions about him, but I guess they wanted me to constantly talk about him or something. I don't know. I guess I wasn't doing that, so they threw me off today. But make it seem like if I came on another day, it wouldn't happen to me in the same fashion. Unless, of course, they manufacture a reason to do that. And I literally said in the side chat, too. It's only because the envelope wasn't pushed far enough to where I got extremely angry. But I warned them I'm not the person to mess with either at the same time. I told them I'm not the person to mess with. So, at that point, I just let him know who I was. Let him know, just gave him a reintroduction to me and everything, and that's really it. I mean, gave them a reintroduction in case they didn't know. And so I literally, because I got timed out the first time, I waited a while to talk again. Then I write, it looks like you're going to need a new staff for your show. It seems pretty boring around here now. seeing everyone up there, it's like, with Grampy Lobster out, you may want to consider another star for your show right here. And they thought, someone in the side chat thought I was instigating and making matters worse or something for everybody. And I don't think I said anything bad at all. Just because I wasn't talking about him enough, apparently, on there, they cut me from the panel. They cut me from the panel for that. So what I'm going to do is, if they ever change the topic and they talk about something else, I'm going to observe how they are when they're talking about something else altogether. Will they go back to talking about Von Helton, or will they talk about something else? Right, exactly, Melissa. Yeah, that's you. You have an eye for things like this, you know. But these other people, apparently, they they come to their conclusion, and that's it. You know, they don't allow as much discussion as they want to make it seem. They put a StreamYard link out, so I took it, and they brought me up, but I was only up there 3 minutes. They didn't want me up there any longer than 3 minutes because they saw that I wasn't going to be kissing all their asses, I guess, by talking about the person that they wanted to make the stream about. And I guess it weirded them out when I said I knew Grampy Lobster from when he went after Elvis Travels, and not Von Helton so much. And I said how Von Helton was an OG on here, too. I did say Von Helton is an OG. So I think they might not have liked that, maybe, that I said that. Or that I have very little to contribute to talking about Grampy Lobster so much. I just said I remember Grampy Lobster from those instances, you know? And how I know the name to a point, but I never really talked to him personally. So it's funny, I did give credit for Von Helton being an OG, though. I mean, look at how long this fucking guy's been. If anyone's been around here longer than me, it's probably been Von Helton. Nick Bravo and Von Helton have been here longer than me. If anyone has been here longer than me and Anderson, it's probably been Nick Bravo and Von Helton. More than likely. There might have been one other person, too. Cigar Dad, I think, too. A lot of those people who were on Blog TV back in the day. Amenham. Oh, Amenham's another one who's been around here a long time as well. Yeah, him too. If we're going back even before me, even. And if this other guy, Super Angry Monkey, didn't die or drop off the face of the earth, he was here in 2006 making videos, getting views. But we all came here at the same time, roughly. But there were a handful of people who were here before me, I'd say. But if Super Angry Monkey didn't drop off the face of the earth, Anderson's the only other person who knows who that is besides me. Super Angry Monkey, all right? If he didn't drop off the face of the earth, he probably would have had a longer YouTube career. It would have been more, probably the best in the game, actually. He would have been the best in the game, this person. I'll tell you right now. But he dropped off too early. He dropped off so early, but he's been so memorable that people will still mention him to this day. Even if it's me or somebody else. But this particular person made a difference in this game, for sure. I think if he's got an existing channel of videos, it's called the Super Angry Monkey Show. And I first found him when he went at The Amazing Atheist a long time ago. So this is my knowledge of the game in case there are people in the Miss Parker community who have been here a long time, but they don't fully know me. I have been here about as long as that small handful of people who've been here in the Von Helton times. So that's where this is going to right here. This is why I'm even talking about it, because they're going at the longest standing OG here. Love him or hate him. The only other person, if he could stay this long, that would be at Von Helton's level as far as hanging in here is Super Angry Monkey, and he's more humorous too. So he would have been above Von Helton. But I'm just giving you an example of who the best of all time would have been if he didn't drop off so soon. So, in that case right there, but since things are going the way they are, I'm in that discussion for the best of all time also. I feel that I am. I don't get enough credit for it, but I feel that I am, for sure. But if there's anyone truly better than me, it's this guy who dropped off the face of the earth. Was here for about maybe 6 years, if that. Maybe 6 years, from 2006 to 2012. So he's been gone a long time. And we're talking about, and this guy is still so legendary, he had to have been great. If he dropped off in 2012 and someone like me could still talk about him. If he was just here 6 years and it was like 10 years ago since he made a video. Although I found out about him in 2008. But he has a channel called the Super Angry Monkey Show. I think some of his videos are still up, but they're very old. They're very dated. I know. I think it will. But so wasn't this a great introduction to someone like Miss Parker's channel? Because even if they don't take me, and even if I don't go to them, I showed up when they were mourning Grampy Lobster today. That happened to be the stream I showed up on today. And they get a lot of views in there, too. 165. I happened to come here today of all times. It was almost like a message to them, like they're going to need to replace him with somebody. But they would also have to adjust to me as well, assuming they would even accept replacing him with somebody. You know? So if it's not going to happen, it's just fun to throw out there like, hey, look at what you could have. Or look at what you didn't have if you don't show interest. Look at what you're not going to have if you don't have it, kind of thing. So at least I threw the word out there, and we're going to see what happens with all this. I put her name in the title. Probably the only time I'm going to put her name in the title. And that's it. So there's no ultimatums or anything. Questions initially, but when they booted me out, that made me want to taunt them a little more, of course. That made me want to get more fired up and say things I may have not ordinarily said if I was allowed to stay up there. You know what I'm saying? And I am also in the right town. Well, that's why I wanted to give this a run. That's why I wanted to give this a shot here. And we're going to see how far we're going to go. The only thing I'm a bit reluctant to go into some of those other parts of Los Angeles, though. Like Santa Monica. I don't even know when I'm going to go there, to be honest with you. No idea. The more people say that they want me in certain areas is probably the more I don't want to go to them if it's going to be too much of a hassle for me, you know? But I am situated pretty good in the area, though. Karen's old man. I am situated pretty good where I'm at. And even you said it too, you know? Take your time to navigate everything. Yeah. And even then, I'd say I'm still moving at a pretty good pace. Getting out and seeing things here and stuff. And the only reason why I'm not, really, is because gas prices are climbing. They're like going higher now than I would have ever thought. When they were $4.99. I wasn't really complaining, but now they're just so expensive. How the hell are you gonna go anywhere now? Unless I just go there and come back or something, or I don't know. I hope I come to Utah someday. Well, when I was going to Las Vegas, because I never been there, that's the only reason why I did this, okay? The sign said Salt Lake City this way, Las Vegas the other way, and I kept going to Las Vegas. If I could do that over, knowing what I know now, I might just go in the other direction. Knowing what I know now. Gasoline is really high. Yeah, it's very high. It's high all over. That's the thing, it's high all over. But it's exceptionally high over here. It's like, I think the most expensive I seen here was $6.79. It's not $7 yet. But they're going to have to pass some kind of a nation stimulus or something. They're going to have to give a stimulus to people because these gas prices are expensive. They're going to have to give something out if they keep going up like this. Because people aren't going to be able to travel. I don't know how to access the subways and the buses right now. I haven't been doing that. No, I have not been doing that. And here's something, Karen's old man. I don't see anybody else making the effort to come out here like I did. I don't see anyone in the foreseeable future really making the effort like I am to come out here. Like, you could be telling people about it and everything. You could be telling them about all this stuff. But I have not seen anyone really, at least in the Boyd community or some of the other surrounding communities, really go to the shadow of Los Angeles, really. Or in it themselves. Or itself. I see Rosie keeps going to Las Vegas. I see a lot of people in Florida. I'm probably one of the very few who did this. Whether anything materializes or not, I'll be at least in a position where I'll see it for a while. Because I went all this way. I can't think of anywhere else I'd go in the meantime, you know? At least not for a few years. You know? If I do, I'd probably end up going to Georgia, to be honest with you. The next place where they're bringing the movie industry. So I put two and two together, and maybe I'm meant to make it to a point, or at least get some leeway, enough leeway, I guess, to where I'll get to move to Atlanta maybe as well, or around there. Because that old area in South Carolina I started out in, don't be surprised if I'm within an hour or two from there. I would say don't be surprised if that's where I end up at a future date, depending on if my situation changes, if I'm financially comfortable enough. Because one thing I learned when I was in the South, right, is you can't get a super cheap place and expect a good standard of living. You'll pay less than what it costs in California, possibly, but not that much less. It isn't as much less as some people might think. It'll be less, but that's about it. I would say like you got to pay maybe $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 possibly versus $500, $600. You'll have to pay at least between $1,000 to $1,400 in the South to still maintain a comfortable living. So unless a situation comes about where I can do that more comfortably, I'd say I'm going to be living in my vehicle out here for as long as it takes till that possibly happens. Because of the very high costs in California, I probably cannot get a place here. I came for the weather. That's what I did to live out of my vehicle. That is simply all I did it for. And in the process, I am also possibly looking at entertainment possibilities as well. Or maybe expanding and getting a cab on the back of here, maybe. If I feel it will help me that much more. DeKalb County in Georgia is affordable. Gainesville, Georgia. I would be looking at Augusta, Georgia. I'd be 2 hours from Atlanta over there, and I would be pretty close to Columbia. Perfect. Because South Carolina is a total, they got no services at all in South Carolina. They are as Republican as it gets. I mean, when you think about it, they are as Republican as it gets. I think when they got hit with the hurricane, I think the government told them to go to Walmart. I'm not kidding. They told them to go to Walmart. They weren't offering any aid. They weren't offering anything, I don't think, over there. Actually. And not to Florida does either. But over there, especially, it was like, oh, you want this stuff here, all the supplies you need to survive or whatever, go to Walmart, they told them. So that mentality is a little too extreme. So that's why I would want to be in Georgia out of the two. You know what I'm saying? That's my reason for wanting to pick Georgia out of the two. Which I know is a definite smart move from that perspective. Because it's all about mindset, you know, with everything. South Carolina has a little bit more of a, you could say, I don't know if it's exactly a losing mentality, but it's more like they don't want any kind of government in their lives kind of people, you know. But yet they still have a state, they still have laws, but yet they act as if there's really no government, you could say. At the same time, there's really no government services over there. And plus they cut my disability check totally off. So South Carolina gets a big negative in that area right there. But I wouldn't mind being on the border of it more and visiting there if I want to go there and then going back to Georgia. That's how I would envision this going if I did this. Athens, maybe, but that's a music town. There's like not a lot of other things going on there. It's a small city. It's kind of like, I don't know. Be a nice place to visit, I think. One of my favorite bands is from Athens, Georgia, actually. And no, not REM. Another one. Not really the B-52s either. Not much. Jordan Hall, not a lot. Whole different subject in here, though. From the Cigar Smoking channel. Santa Monica is a bitch for parking. Well, I'm not going to want to be there then, Karen's old man. If it's a bitch for parking, how am I going to get down there? Someone will have to pay my parking bill. That's going to be my ultimatum to somebody. It's like, hey, take care of my parking for me. And then we'll discuss the rest after. Because one thing I hate paying to park. And I hate tight parking. That's going to keep me away from a place every single time. So if they want this talent, they're going to have to pay me something. At least to start negotiations. And if the parking's one of those things they got to take care of, then that's what they got to take care of. because I'm not dealing with that. I'd rather take my chances with other stuff that I'll have to deal with. But parking's one of those things I don't want to deal with. Pay my parking and drive me around is what I'm going to say. Drive me around and pay my parking. And then we'll discuss the rest after. And I want that to get out to everyone here looking for new talent. You're going to have to pay my parking and give me rides here and there. Okay? Especially if it's in areas where the parking's very tight and all that, and I don't want to deal with it. Then take care of all that. And then I'll negotiate the rest with you after. Those are my terms. Will anybody budge? Will anyone do that for me, Karen's old man? Will anybody do that for me? Or will I have to do all that myself with no negotiating on anything? Because if I have to be dependent on to do that on myself, well, no deal. Then no deal. This whole thing would be a bust. No deal. They're not even going to see what kind of talent they could potentially have. So that's my offer that I am giving. Pay my fucking parking and drive me around. And we'll discuss the rest later. It's like, how hard is that to grasp? Wouldn't somebody take that offer? Why can't you bargain with anybody now? Why is it so fucking impossible? You can't even bargain with anybody for anything anymore. Magda will continuously be blocked. Fuck you for being a nag. I'm not going to ever. If you keep on pushing me, I'm not ever unblocking her. Karen's old man, can you respond to me on this? This is a key thing that I need an answer for. Why wouldn't anybody take care of my parking for me? Or give me rides? Even if it meant that I would have to do something for them after. Why is nobody negotiable? Why can't I cut any bargain with anyone? A contract to ensure me maybe even a place to live. Why can't I even do that? In the key areas where I need it. Santa Monica, Hollywood. Why can't I get driven around? Or at least have my parking covered by a particular person who wants to strike a deal. Because I'm going to demand, and I'm not going to be a nice person when I demand. I'm serious. Someone should, at the very least, cover my expenses or hassles that I don't want to deal with. And I've said that I don't want to deal with it several times. Well, who would? I want to meet these people. Who would make a deal? Who would make a deal? Send them to me. Tell them about me. Do something. I can't do it. I'm not around those kind of people. I don't socialize with people very much. I don't. So you're going to have to pull some of it if you want to see me there. You're going to have to pull a couple strings. I can't do it all. Someone out there is going to have to do that. Tell someone who could possibly do that stuff and relay the word to them or whatever. If I still paid your parking. How do you know that, Gus? How the hell do you know if I would or not? So Gus, how come you're throwing this out here? Why you say I was going to say, even if I paid your parking, you still wouldn't want to come back to Boston? Again, how do you know that for sure? Are you just trying to be a bullshitter on here? Because why would you say it otherwise, Gus? Do you really want to pay my parking and move back there? Do you want to do that? What do you have in mind? I'll listen. You said you didn't want to come back to Boston but what if I did? Then you would pull out and not meet me one day, right? A lot of people, they just love to come along when they know something isn't going to happen and they like to stir the pot. But I don't think they're going to offer a damn thing at the end of the day. I really don't. Or you got to prove to me that you're going to do it. If you're really that friggin' serious about it. I hate this whole dangling shit, then pulling back when someone might want to do something. Fuck that. Fuck everyone like that. You know where you can park for free? Oh, well, that's good. Hey, whatever. Hey, that'll help too. But if I can't park any place on the streets, all I say is cover my parking and we'll discuss the rest after. Just cover that very thing that I don't want to deal with at all. Or maybe let me park somewhere around where you're at. Whatever. Just live in rest stops and welcome centers. Why would I do that? Come on. Come off it. Are you just being stupid? It sounds like you're just being stupid here. So, I'm just going to put you in a goddamn timeout here. I you a couple bucks when you were in Vegas, but I couldn't sign into my... No. You're trolling right now. You are. That's just an excuse. It's like what people like to say to troll. They're like, oh, yeah, I would send you money, but I couldn't sign in. Or like, you're going to have to give me the full URL to the video. I'm like, no, I gave you enough keywords to look it up. You could find it. Don't be making me get the whole URL to paste because I can't find the URL to paste. It's the same bullshit. All right? And I'll call your asses out every goddamn time you try to pull that fucking shit with me. I'm serious. Someone that owns a single field. Exactly. That will work. Karen's old man, that will work, actually. I just see most people, they're just all out for themselves. They're not looking around them. They're not looking to meet other people, even that are down on their luck a little bit. And I don't even look like I'm totally down on my luck. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I look too nice for someone in my situation. What do you think? Maybe I look too damn nice for somebody in the situation that I'm in. I don't friggin' know. I don't have Cash App. No, I do not. And I'm not using it anytime soon. All right? I told you what my PayPal is. All right? I probably did. If you don't have that, you can't send anything. You're not going to send anything at all. That's why I think you're just trolling. But you do, but prove it to me. Talk to me sometime. Prove it to me. You have a lot to prove, because I don't know you. From fucking Adam. I want to be nice. I don't want to be mean. I want to stay nice. I don't want to feel like I have to get mean with anybody, because I'll be a son of a bitch if I fucking do. And you all know that about me by now. You better learn it if you don't know it. Would I park an industrial park? Maybe I would. Yeah, maybe. But I already found a quiet spot that I like over here, okay? But it's not accessible to Santa Monica, though. It's not accessible to those areas. That's the trade-off. I might have to drive in to there myself one day and do something. I'll have to assess if it's worth the trouble for me or not. Because otherwise, I'm going to need somebody to cover all that. That's going to be my first negotiation with them, actually. To cover all that, and then we'll discuss the rest after. So Gus FC, do you have any more to add? You said you live in Boston, correct? What is your proposal? Give me a direct proposal on what you would do if I decided to move back to Boston. What would you do? Would you cover my parking, and what else? And what else? Huh? Make me an offer. Make me a legitimate offer. I might consider it. Make me a fucking offer and sweeten it enough, and I'll consider maybe. But none of you have the guts to do that, do you? Make me a good offer that you think that I might like. All right? Now's the time. Put up or shut up, Gus. Put up or shut the fuck up. Okay? I'm removing your mod. Put up or shut up. No, T.I., you're fucking out of here, bitch. You can go drop yourself on your fucking head as far as I'm concerned. Fall Rog or whatever. You park in the chat where industrial neighborhood, park near the Metrolink thing. I couldn't do that, could I? They would ticket me for that. That doesn't sound like a place I would want to be anyway, honestly. Walmart, again, I don't like to spend permanent residency in a Walmart parking lot. I don't think anywhere. Unless it's a nice area, I don't know. But I don't really like the idea of that. If I can avoid it, I try to. I just know I'm very fortunate to find the place that I found right now. Okay? I'm very fortunate to have found that. It's just in a little bit of a distance from... I'm near Inglewood, okay? Karen's old man, I'm near Inglewood, Lawndale area, okay? Lawndale is right in the neighborhood, practically. So that's where I am. What are my odds if I'm out here? What are my odds, literally, to get anything done with any of the top live streamers and collaborations if I am out in this area? What are my odds out here? Am I okay over here? Wanting to stay out here and possibly find others in these nearby towns possibly doing it? Or do I literally have to go over there? Where I really don't want to have to deal with all that parking over there and everything. You figured, but you didn't want to say anything. Okay. So, do you think that's an okay spot for me to stay while trying to access some of the bigger areas out there to try to get my name out there or to try to collaborate with others? I'm trying to figure out where these people like Lala in Los Angeles stay at. Where they park, where they go. Because maybe I could go to that same area that they're in, at the very least. As long as there's a few solid live streamers, that could bring me to an area real quick. I will be intrigued to go somewhere if I know that there's a situation. And then I know there's a spot where they go, I'll be like, hey, I'll join them over there. I won't park right next to them, but at the same time, I'll be in that area. If I had to send you money, I would send you a $100 to help you on your venture. That's all I could honestly offer. Well, then, but it seems like you thought that you had to live up to that whole parking thing that I was talking about. So then offer it, then give it to me then. Don't talk about it. Just send it if you want to send it. Don't do a ring around the rosy just to send a $100 bill to me. Just send it, dude. Don't fucking play games. Send it if you want to send it. Don't talk about it. Don't troll me like that, because I am about to remove you. So if you're going to send the money, send it. Or else shut up. Shut the fuck up. Don't keep mentioning shit. Don't ring around the rosy with me. Send it! Send it now! Or shut up about it! Understand? No, 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 you're out of here. Da, 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 da. No, no, da, da. You're a troll. You're getting out of here now. Forget you. Fuck you. Fucking loser. You don't have any intention of offering anything. Piece of shit. Or else you would have just done it, dickhead. Access to the entertainment industry. Burbank. I'm going to decide if it's worth it enough, okay? I haven't even made it to the San Fernando Valley yet. I have not even made it there, okay? I have to do this gradually. The traffic sucks. Gas prices have gone up. So, that's where I'm at. I pretty much planted myself in this spot. Not Central Hollywood. Well, fine. Well, they have to have it somewhere else. Wouldn't they have to? Because Hollywood's a little tight for comfort, right? That's why they have it somewhere else, correct? Because it is very tight in Hollywood, probably for comfort. That's why they probably have it somewhere else, right? Right, they have to. Well, will he send it? Let's just see if he'll send it, because my gut instinct says he's not going to send that money. So I'm not going to give him my link. How about that? I'm not even going to give him my link. Forget it. Why do I want to do business with the troll anyway? Don't send it. Don't send it. Just stay out of here. All right. I don't want troll money, because they never pay up. They never pay up. So hey. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing pretty much. I mean, I'm trying to be in a spot, though, where I can get people's attention at least. So if I can get a sure deal, or at least a time to meet up someplace that's convenient for me or another person, then I will go into those areas and do it. But it would be better if it was planned out. It would be better if I could plan it out and not do it on the fly. Why can't anyone meet these credentials? Why is this so tough to do? People are not business. People are not about business anymore, I guess, and getting shit done the right way. Apparently they are not. Right, this reminds me of what they're going to do in Atlanta. This reminds me of what they're probably going to do in Atlanta. They're probably not going to put their studios right in Atlanta. They're probably going to put it on the outside. I'm not going to get shot. Come on. You really think I'm going to get shot? Yeah. Okay, well, can I get in and out of Encino pretty easily? Will it be tough for me because of the stuff that I mentioned? Because I'll go if it's made easier for me to be there. I'll go. Right. So I might not even go to Hollywood. I might not even go to West Hollywood either, honestly. Probably not worth it. I don't know what it is, but people think because I'm a certain way, they think that I should go to West Hollywood or something. But it doesn't automatically give me a ticket to fitting in right away, though. It doesn't. I'm very skeptical of that, actually. When people tell me to go to West Hollywood, it seems like I haven't been there, so there's others who make the extra effort just to go there, but I'm only interested if it's going to benefit my social life. That's it. If it doesn't benefit my bottom line, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to spend the money to park and have nothing happen. I like to get results for what I pay for, you know? And when I know there's no guarantee that I'm going to get anything because I pay for parking, then I'm not going to do it, you know? That's the thing. Do you seriously think that I would belong in West Hollywood, for real? You can't say people can't say just because I'm trans that I belong there and I can't live anywhere else. I don't buy that for a minute. That's bullshit. That's total bullshit. I shouldn't have to be designated into a spot that they think all the freaks should live in necessarily. There's something that's always been wrong with that way of thinking. Like, oh, I need to go to that neighborhood. That's the only neighborhood you would do well in. Right. In fact, I think West Hollywood has more attacks that happen out of homophobia, too. So I think more of that goes up also. They say that's where all of them go, but at the same time, that's also where more attacks happen as well, probably. From everything that I've heard about it. Right. I wouldn't hang there. Probably. No. If it's too much trouble for me and there's no guarantee that I would be included into what's going on, then there's no purpose for me to do it. If someone tells me, yeah, come here and see us, I might. But no one has extended their hand and said, come out and see us out here. We'll pay your parking and then we'll discuss more on what we're going to do or something. But I'm using this channel to rant and discuss what I expect that people do want to contact me. And this goes for anything, too. This isn't just about getting gigs either. This is about dating as well. This is about. Someone offered me a potential place, Did I tell you that? Someone offered me a potential place for $50 a month. I'm like, that sounds too good. I said, that sounds too good. What's the catch to that? This particular person said that they just want a friend to hang around their place and to hang with them or something. And that sounds reasonable, of course, right? But the only problem was when I texted them to see what was going on, it's like they wanted to meet even when I wasn't ready to. It's like, here I am, I'm eating breakfast now and stuff in a different area from where this person lives entirely, okay? So then I text them or whatever, but just because I text someone, that doesn't mean that I want to meet them right on the spot. You know what I'm saying? If people put things on me like that. Like I have to get out of what I'm doing to see someone just because they're bored. That's not going to work out, you know? That's totally not going to work out. I have to be allowed time. I have to talk to them a little longer at least. Yeah, it's like a form of speed dating that certain people might, in the real life, they might see you face to face and they might give you their phone number. But when you go your own way from that person, to set something more formally up, you have to allow time. You can't just jump right in because it will never be as good. You know, you have to plan for things. Is my take on it. Well, 50 per month would have actually been in Compton, Karen's old man, when I got transported there late last week. That's where I ran into that. Someone there wanted my phone number and stuff. I gave it to them. Well, they gave me theirs. I took it. And it seemed like any time to meet was like an acceptable time. Like even after I was there to do what I needed to do, I had no time to plan because I was kind of in an unfortunate circumstance that brought me there to begin with. It's like, I can't just meet after that. And not saying like he said that I had to, but every single time that I seemed to talk to this person, it was like, oh, can you meet right now and hang out? Can you meet and hang out? Like when I asked them how they're doing, the first word they said was bored. Like they're bored. Like they don't have any other excitement going on also. Like that all hours of the night thing is fine with them. Like, and if you're not, oh, or it reminds me like when some people say, oh, I can't do this today. How about tomorrow? I can't tomorrow. How about Wednesday? How about Thursday? How about Friday? Like anyone ever run into that? Anyone ever run into that? Yeah. And plus that Gus guy was kind of creepy too, wasn't he? He disappeared totally. He had no intention of sending that money to me. He had absolutely no intention because he's not even hanging around anymore. I mean, I don't think he even got booted. Honestly, at least hidden. You don't know about what person, Gus? FC? Or this person I'm talking about now? I don't know what happened to him. He just totally disappeared. And why would anyone be doing that anyway, or talking to me like that? If $100's a lot of money still for people to say, which is a scumbag fucking move to do, to dangle money over someone's head and not have any intention of giving it to them. And you're just thinking of many ways to not give it to them, but you're still mentioning how you would give it to them. That's Abby shit right there. That is shit that a troll would do. Totally. No! No! Again, you are permanently out. You are not going to talk now. You are finished. You are finished. Excuses. You read those blatant excuses? You've been trying to swear my shit away and it's still giving me a hard time. Like you've been saying that for minutes and minutes and minutes now. No. Forget it. You're out of here. Don't send it now. I don't want it. I don't want you around. Because you're a bitch. Look at this. He's a scammer. Look at this fucking scammer. This is a scammer right now. He's trying to scam me. Read his comments. I can't get rid of this guy, and he's trying to scam me. Literally right here. Round Robin for me, fruit cash up. That's a scam. He's saying scam keywords right now. Fuck this loser. In the ship that he fucking sailed in on. Parking your truck in chat or neighborhood is way too bad. I don't want to pay for parking. I do not want to pay for parking. Someone has to cover that, or there's no deal. Someone has to cover the parking, or there's no deal. And I'm going to send that out there to anyone who wants new talent out there, that I'm not getting involved unless you cover the fucking parking. If I have to pay for any of it, you're going to have to pay for it. And we're going to discuss everything else. Why is everyone so lazy? Why is everyone not adhering to my simple demands? They're not much at all. It doesn't ask for much at all. I don't think that's asking for too much, is it? If they want someone like me, they will do whatever it takes to get me in. And I'll say that right now. They don't want to adhere to it. They're punk bitches. And I don't want to get to know them anyway. I only want those in my life who are going to be part of my life, not jerk me around. It's about relationships. And I'm not going to meet anyone who's overly unstable or they're on drugs either. I'm not going to meet anybody like that. So people can say all they want about me, about how I'm a freak, how I'm this, how I'm that, how I'm... I only show you what I want you to see. Obviously. Because I don't want any heavy druggies hanging around me. There's things that you cannot do when you're around me. Obviously. But I don't see anyone willing right now. They don't have it in them. They don't have it in them to step up and take me on. They don't have what it takes. They'd rather be punk-ass pussies. I'm serious. I am a very professional person, and they try to say I don't act professional. They're like projecting. It's like I thought setting terms and conditions was the best way to do things. To cover everybody's ass. Apparently it isn't. I just simply say, take care of this, and we'll discuss the rest. How hard is that? And we'll discuss discussing the rest. Christ. I'm wasting my goddamn time with these people, I think, is what I'm doing. I am a talent staring a lot of them right in the face here. And they're not even giving me a little bit. Or they don't even want to do that. I deserve tons better than I get. I am very undervalued. Undervalued here. And I should be getting more. Yeah, it's gonna cost, and that's why I want someone to possibly cover that for me. If they want to work with me, I would ask that they cover that, and then we'll talk. Don't people do that all the time, and don't people get what they want by setting terms and conditions, don't they? Why just me? Why am I blacklisted so terribly on here? Because I see everybody else getting deals and getting everything they want. Everybody besides me. It seems like everybody besides me does. I'm very tired of it. I'm so tired of it that I'm ready to hurt somebody. I'd have to go out of character again to prove my fucking point. I'm going to have to resort to Bush League Mafia tactics to get the shit that I want. And I think that's the reality I'm going to have to come to. I guess the best way to do it is just show up with the baseball bat when you show up somewhere. Maybe they'll be scared into giving you a contract. Eh? Maybe that's what you got to do. I don't friggin' know. But if I'm gonna spend my time doing this, someone's gonna give me something. You know, someone has to give me something here and there. It can't just be me pushing everything. But apparently they want me to push everything myself, and they don't want to give me just a little bit. If it could enhance the experience. Hey, Karen's old man, can I talk to you on the phone sometime? If you're serious, you'll talk to me on the phone. How about you email me at meltonjohn@gmail.com and let's have a voice-to-voice phone discussion on things. Email me with your phone number, all right? If you really want to be serious about things here. Or if you even want me to visit you wherever you're at. How serious are you? How serious are you? Because it seems like all of our conversations are in public here when I like to go private. I don't want to have a conversation with someone where everyone can watch. I want to have a private conversation with others. Also, that's going to be required for damn sure if you want to do anything. So you're giving me credit for being professional and shit. So wouldn't you honor that yourself? And possibly give me your email address so things can go a little further here, huh? I think I'm at least owed that from you, don't you think? I'm at least owed that, right? Right or wrong? Right or fucking wrong? Answer. One or the other, right or wrong? Doesn't seem like you want to do that, though. Doesn't seem like you want to do that. At all. It seems like you're giving me all this information, but in a public forum. I wish it wasn't in a public forum. I wish it really wasn't. Frankly, all the time. I don't want to do StreamYards and talk face to face that way. Do you ever think I don't want to do those things? The telephone is how I do business. I don't do business on stream fucks, okay? I don't do business on things like that. I'm out here putting the word out that I want to do business out here with people. And if they get the word, I would like them to contact me at the very least and work out a deal with me. Then it could go from there. Until then, there's nothing. That's it. So she's emailing you now. I'm going to have to check it after, though. But you have it, correct? What's my email address if I gave it to you? And how come you wouldn't be doing it? How come she would be doing it for you? I don't understand. Are you someone who can't send an email or something? You can send an email, but why would your wife be sending an email for you? I don't understand that either. You're going to have to clarify that for me as well. I have many people that want my head. They want to tear me to shreds. They don't want me alive. They don't want me alive. They want me to suffer. Everyone in Las Vegas proved that they wanted me to suffer when I was out there. And me getting angry is only trying to stay alive, is all it fucking is. It's just trying to stay alive, because that's the only option I have. Apparently, I have to get violent to get what I want. And when I find out that that's 100% true, then God help a lot of you, is all I'm going to say. Because I'll take that show on the road. Trust me, I'll definitely take that show on the road. I'll show up to your neighborhoods in a baseball bat. What do you have for me? I'll just say, what do you have for me? You know? You got what I want? Yeah, you don't want me coming there like that. But if I feel I have to do that, I'll do it. I'll tell you right now. How come some of the worst people in the world can use other people and get them to constantly give them things and use them and parasite off them? Yet somebody like me can't meet those same people. I don't understand. I don't get it at all. How do others keep getting bailed out? I'll tell you what it is. It's because they're white and I'm not. That's the real fucking reason. They pass as perfectly white and Aryan while I do not. That is the reason why they get ahead and why I don't. That is exactly... I'd like to see someone challenge me on that because it's very true. It's very fucking true. It's because of the color of my skin. That's the real fucking reason why here. And no, I don't mean it's because I'm white. No, that is not it whatsoever. It's because I'm brown. That's why. And I'm trans. They don't want to give nothing to people like me. They don't want to even give us a tryout. That's how fucking stingy these bastards are. And even Lala in Los Angeles. That might not be really easy. Why does everything have to be hard? Why does every fucking thing have to be hard? Why? Because I'm going to come on here and I'm going to be an absolute... My channel's going to become a hate channel. It's going to be an anger channel. Just voicing my opinions on everything is what it's going to be. If we're talking about this subject, and if I'm continuously here, not getting offers and not getting bites, and if I'm getting so angry, then I'm just going to friggin' just leave here. I came here to be seen. I came here to have someone discover my fucking talent. Is what I came here for. Now, I'm going to give it a certain amount of time. But after that threshold is over, then I'm only going to wait for so long also. So, some of you out here, you're going to have to pay up in some way in order to see what I can do. You're going to have to pay up also. That's all there is to it. So many scumbags can get all these so-called nice people in to keep giving them things. And to give them a place rent-free in their house and in their spare bedrooms. Yet I'm not even like those people completely. And I don't even get that. And I would be a much better person to be around than them. And yet I'm the one constantly blacklisted, and they're not. And they're not. Now, this is what I'm upset about. Even on YouTube, nothing anyone can say on YouTube, besides when someone goes way too far with their bullshit, is going to get me as mad as this right here, as this very topic of discussion right here that we're talking about. That I'm clearly wandering around. I'm in this area. I went to Las Vegas. I'm here now. I've done more than enough within my power to be seen and to get discovered out here. But you can't just do it to a random person on the street. You try to talk to someone, they might think you're going to sexually harass them. I mean, there's only so much you can do in the real world over here. There's only so much you can friggin' do. When I hold up signs, no one's even gotten out of their car to hit me, let alone try to talk to me about things. I'm saying that everyone has lost their involvement. Everybody has lost their involvement. All right, Corey, you got timed out probably because I have a road mod, all right? So I'm going to have to give you a wrench because they keep timing people out. Fucking pussy, whoever's doing it. I've called them out several fucking times, but there's nothing I can do about it, apparently. So they're going to have to be here for the time being. So what's your opinion on everything going on if you've been watching from the outside being timed out? So what's your opinion on everything going on right now? Because there's only so much that I can take until I'm going to stop violently threatening people. I'm willing to give it a little bit longer, but if I'm not getting the offers or something, some sign of something, then I'm going to curse the entire city, is what I'm going to do. And God help them if I do that. Because their lives are going to start going in shambles, even if mine has to get worse, too. I'll accept it because it's not getting better anyways. Even when I try out here, it never gets better. Nobody wants me to succeed. Do you understand that? Absolutely nobody wants to see me succeed. No one. Absolutely nobody. And then it's funny how certain people watch this when I'm not even talking to them and they get angry. Like Abby would find some way to get angry at me, even though I'm not even talking about her. So she'll get angry at you no matter what. Even if you mention her name and you don't. I know how this person fucking is. I just added him as a mod. That's not right. You fucking serious right now? He got thrown out and I added him as a mod. Fuck this shit. I'm not bending over backwards to unhide any of you either. Fuck you too now. How about that? I'm not extending my fucking neck out to you because you don't extend your neck out to me. So you fucking dickheads can go die. As far as I'm concerned, you have to extend your neck out for me for appreciation now. That's what it's come to. You're going to have to do something for me before you get anything from me. Or I'm not giving shit to you. You understand? I'm not giving fucking shit to you. Unless you show me something. Your ass is going to have to pay up to play in here. Anybody. Even out here too. If anyone wants to come to me for offer, they got to pay something. Even if it's my parking, they got to pay something. That's it. I don't come for free. My services do not come for free. Okay? They do not come for free on it. I'm charging for everything. If anyone really wants to do business with me. Because nobody wants to see me succeed. Absolutely no one. Absolutely fucking nobody. Or else I would have gotten way more offers by now. I would have got way more real life appreciation. Hi, Sammy. What's going on? I'm just in a very fucking bad mood right now talking. I'm in a very fucking bad mood right now. I'm really upset that the potential could be there, that absolutely nobody shows up, that absolutely nobody comes to me and comes with an offer of any kind. Nothing. It's going to be like it always has been. Selfish fucking assholes who only want to line their pockets and they don't want to consider anybody else or give anyone else a fair shot on here. That's what this is. And I'm underappreciated heavily out here. And it needs to stop. It needs to change. I don't want to be this kind of person anymore. I want to win. I want to have a good supporting cast around me. This is the other thing. They would hate me so much too if I played in the NBA. And to the point where I really feel that because of how my life is gone, they would fix it to where I wouldn't get any help around me and I was always losing. I'm really that fucking good that if I had just the supporting cast around me, I could do a lot of good things. But nobody wants to give me a good supporting cast. No one wants to seem to want to come through. Even Elvis had more help than I had. Even he had more surrounding people around him. I'm serious here. He had a lot of people willing to pay his way. He had a lot of people willing to help him out in some form. I've clearly seen other people get it. And I continually have to say, where's mine? Where's mine? And the only reason why all these other sons of bitches never wanted to meet me in real life or were too scared to meet me is because I was a real person and I wasn't buying into their whole white bread delusions of fucking grandeur. I wasn't buying into any of it. I was a 100% real person. Norm, what are you trying to say, Norm? I just mentioned Elvis Travels, how he even had a better supporting cast than I did to get through. He had a better supporting cast than me even when he was doing this. It probably ran out by now, but I'm saying when he was hot doing all this stuff on YouTube, he even had more to work with than I had. So if you want to really talk about this kind of stuff here, we can get into that, you know? But they always want to find some way to screw me. That's all I'm trying to say here. They always want to find some way to screw me. Yeah, but I can't do it all by myself. Every great player needs a good supporting cast. Even the best of them need that. Okay? I can't do it by myself. I can't do it all alone. I'm going to need something from somebody to get started at least. Seriously. And right now I feel like when I was younger, try to going on here and getting angry, so maybe I can reflect on this. But no. It's like when you're down more than you ever thought you were down, and you finally realize it, and you're upset about that. Like your reality has been fucked with in some way. But there's got to be, with all the fucking people and all the people with money who fucking live here, there has to be someone who's going to pay up at some friggin' point. Why do you think I came here? Because everyone fucking lives here who has all that stuff. That's why. And I don't want to be made fun of. I'm not someone to be made fun of over this at all. I deserve every fucking thing and more that I'm asking for. And it's never been much. Ever. I never asked for a lot. And yet everyone finds some fucking way to keep fucking with me. Or stopping me from getting where I want to go. I'm real serious here. And if it ever is a failure, then now we really know why. Now we fucking know why. It's been the story of my goddamn life here. It's been the story of my fucking life. It really has. I've gotten nowhere in life because everyone wanted to fuck me over somehow. And sometimes it started in the home, too. There's a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas. It shoulda done this, shoulda done that. But I never had anyone tell me when I was a kid that it's going to be exceptionally difficult for you because of how you look, because of the way you are, or stuff like that. That you don't have to do anything wrong, and it could just be something about you. It could be your skin color. It could be this. It could be that. Someone should have leveled with me when I was a kid. Instead of trying to tell me that things weren't that way and I was just seeing things. You know? Or being told things like your reality is what you make it. Well, that's not always it. No, that's not always it. I didn't choose this reality. People are acting like I choose this reality. I'm not responsible for being where I am. It's the greatest society who keeps on fucking with me. That's what's responsible for it. Well, if he didn't, it would be a very fucked... And I'm going to fuck with those people to the day I die. If he's alive. So, Miss Parker, you better fucking hope Grampy Lobster is dead. You better hope. Because you are looking like big-time fools if you held a morning stream for someone who faked a death. And I'll go after Grampy Lobster my fucking self. If that's what he did, I'll go after the fucking bastard. If he's just pulling a fast one on everyone. Someone did point out that he faked a death before. Yeah, they actually did. Princess J of the IE, what the fuck do you want, bitch? Why the fuck are you making messages and then retracting? You can go fuck yourself too. You are someone who's like, oh, I prefer you as a man. No, I'm live. I'm not checking it right now. I'll check it after the stream. We can talk after the stream, dude. I'm not checking it now. It'll throw me off my stream if I check it now. Alright. Self-proof. Norm, shut up, will you? Shut the fuck up, Norm. Come on, I'm not going to do that. I can't get all fresh vegetables enough to sell them and make a stand here. Look, just leave if you're going to tell me shit like that. It has to be a true supporting cast, though. Make sure you weed out the fake. Sammy, I always knew you were one. I always knew that you were one, okay? And this is what Sammy said. It has to be a true supporting cast, though. Make sure you weed out the fakes. I know you're smart. You big break will come. I believe in you. Always have. Well, it's got to at some point. I mean, how can I be here and not do it? Someone with my talent. How can I be here and not do it? Is really where we're at here. But I don't know about if Grampy Lobster is faking it. He could very well be. But if he really didn't, though, I mean, he did fake his death before. I was informed today that he did. I guess he doesn't like when the pressure comes on him or something. That he fakes a death whenever the people he attacks start coming after him harder. Then he fakes his death, doesn't he? Is that his pattern? I need to know that that's his pattern or not. To those who know about that and who says something about that. Thank you, Sammy. Sammy, I wish I knew where you were or something. See, this is the thing. If I know that I have true people, I'll do everything to try to see those people. It's those that back out that piss me off. They just intentionally back out. They string me along, and then they back right out. Totally. And that's why, Sammy, that I had all that anger. Again, Nay, I remind people about Jasmine Star. That anger did not just come out of nowhere. That came out of her stringing me a fucking round. Is what that started from. Oh, that's right, Iowa. Yeah, okay. All right. That person had to string me along enough to piss me off enough to where I had to be drunk enough to scream about them. Sure, it works. Trust me, cases of nutritious foods. That's not the type of person I am, all right? I don't know about you or where I come from, but I'm not capable of that, all right? I can't just set up a vegetable truck here. You have to find people to grow it also. It's not simple like you're making it sound. But what I'm talking about here is for nobody else. Nobody else, all right? No people who talk about me. Nobody. Other than those who are in here participating right now. Because I'm not talking about them. This is my matter strictly in what's going on around here. It has nothing to do with YouTube or anything on YouTube right now. I started this off talking about Miss Parker or Grampy Lobster or whatever, but I'm not. This discussion here, what this evolved to, has nothing to do with anybody who's around my YouTube channel, who does content, and who wants to shit talk me or whatever the fuck, or try to get under my skin. This content is not for them. Oh, I'm sure they're going to think of ways to talk about it and say that I'm having a breakdown or something like that, or I'm breaking down or something bad's going to happen. No. That content is not for them. This content is for me and those who are interested in going further with things. This is not for the crabs that keep trying to come around me. I've been here 3 years. I've returned here for 3 years, and I'm still struggling to try to build what I want to build. I'm closer than I used to be, but it is going extremely slow. It is a very slow process. And right now, my biggest challenge is getting people out here to see me. That is my biggest challenge right now. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I think I might be biting off more than I could chew myself. And when I come to that point where I realize that, Norm, come off it. I'm not doing that. Time out, Norm. This is nothing to do with that shit. Norm, time out. You've been a long time sub, and you seem very upset. Yeah, I am. I came in late, but I'm stuck up here with other sides. I just watched, but don't. All right. Whatever makes you comfortable, I guess, with that. All right. And I have a few people I talk to, but they don't live here. That's the only thing, is they don't live here. They live in the southeast, technically. They don't even live here. Because when I read into that Ernie community, there's a lot of people who live in the southeast now. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, now you're coming to me. But when I was down there, I couldn't meet any of you. See how people screw with me? See how my whole life I've been screwed with? That I didn't even meet these individuals when I was there the first time? And now I meet those people? That sucks. It's like I have to go to the opposite coast to stop meeting people on a coast that I'm not even fucking on. It's almost like I've been trolled by God my whole fucking life. It's almost like God has direct involvement in my trolling. It really fucking is. Because why would I be sent to the whole other side of the country, and then why would people start talking to me from Georgia or Florida? It makes no fucking sense. Absolutely no fucking sense. None whatsoever. But why, when I was there, could I not meet those individuals? Huh? Because God hates people like me, that's why. Apparently he hates people like me. He wants to see me suffer. And no, simply believing in him doesn't change things. No, to all you delusional people out there. If this is what Jesus Christ is, then fuck Jesus Christ. But I don't think he's God. I don't think he is. Because there are greater powers fucking with me all the time. And they're succeeding while doing it. And it's been my whole goddamn fucking life. I'm not talking about now. This has been going on for years. Years. Before any of you ass clowns on YouTube started coming around here. Before that. Look, I've been getting fucked with my whole goddamn life. My whole fucking life. Okay? High school to now. And it has not stopped. It has not stopped. It's now you just happen to be monopolizing the time. But no, my whole life I was getting fucked with. Trust me. My whole goddamn life I was. My whole goddamn life I wasn't meant to succeed. My whole fucking life I wasn't. How would it make you feel if everyone you see on Facebook seems like they're successful and they're living normal lives, yet you're the only one amongst all of them that are not? How would that make some of you feel? When you check Facebook and see that all your classmates made it, and here you are, and you're the only one who did it. You're going to start to wonder if the system was rigged against you. You're going to start to really fucking wonder if the system was rigged against you. When you see things at that level, where you look on Facebook and see classmates you grew up with, and they're all successful besides you. That is a rigged system right there. There's no other way to look at it. That is a rigged system. Completely. They had it out for me since the day I was born. I just didn't realize it till I was a teenager. But they had it out for me the day, and several years I wasted not coming out as a trans person. I should have did it years ago. I didn't know what it was, though, for a long friggin' time growing up. I wish I would have known. Because then a lot of maybe this bullshit would have been solved by now. Maybe I would have turned some of it around. So I would have faced less of this into my adulthood. Kind of like I was thinking about a scenario today. Yeah, well, it's taken very slow for me for some reason. I should get at least comments from them like, hey, I want you to collaborate with us. There isn't one person coming up to me and saying, hey, I want you to collaborate with me, where I don't have to do all the fucking work. There's not one person just throwing themselves at me like that. You know, there isn't. And whoever is, well, you'd have a story with that. I'm not dealing with that. But to those who could give me a reasonable deal or at least offer me something of some kind where I don't have to work so hard to try to find others would make my life a whole lot easier on here. But they make me work for every fucking thing, and they set the bar high when I'm trying to make it. Then they keep raising the bar as I keep coming. They keep raising. I keep coming. They keep raising. I keep coming. They keep raising. That has been the whole way that it has been, that I have been. This is how it's always been for me. Ever since I was a fucking child, this is how it's been for me. And I am protesting against this. This is wrong. This is God committing a civil rights violation against me. That's what this is. I'm serious. I'm totally fucking serious here. The game is very rigged. Certain people make it, most people make it, and those certain few do not. Well, why can't everybody make it doing something and be happy? Why does everybody have to be against each other? Seriously. And I don't want to talk about these cases more severe than me. I don't want to. Because they obviously failed, you know? And they obviously are still hanging around, but they probably shouldn't be. I hope I go so crazy. I hope I go crazy enough where I'll forcibly have to quit YouTube. Because it isn't happening any other friggin' way. Sometimes I have to probably reach more bottom than I have even gotten. That's the friggin' truth here. But I don't know how much lower I can go. And they say you're supposed to go up when you go down bottom. I don't see any indications that I'm going up, though. That's the difference. I'm not going to be saved like other people are, apparently. They really want it in for me. Everybody that I deal with is dealing with this rig system, and they always find some way to keep raising the bar when I keep getting closer. And they're playing the game unfairly, is what they're doing. And may their asses rot in hell when it comes their time to fucking rot in hell. That's a very fucking rotten thing to do to someone, don't you think? If they're going to get rotten, I'm going to get rotten. That's how I'm going to play the game. I'm going to get rotten. I'm going to play filthy on their asses with no mercy because they've never showed me any. They've never fucking showed me any. Yeah, I'm not into drugs. No, I'm not. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe because I don't take drugs, maybe I get super pissed off at the world more. And maybe I'm not seen as a severe case because if you're on drugs, you'll be enabled. You'll be enabled. But listen to me. This whole country is insensitive. You think it's just exclusive to Los Angeles? This is the whole country we're talking about here. Every part of the country is like this. It's an America thing. America is a beast, okay? The whole country has cutthroat people. Every state. In every city. Even the calm ones. Look, why do you think I tried these calmer cities out and failed in that? I failed in them because I found that they weren't any more sensitive for me. I figure I might as well just go to the biggest monstrosity in America because at least everything's here at least. It may be dog eat dog, but there are still others out there who will cut deals and at least bargain with you, won't they? Just bargain with me, and if I like what you're selling me, I'll join. If I like the deal someone's giving me, I'll sign up for it. Even if they want something in return also. But no one's even bargaining with me now. Why isn't anyone even bargaining with me, coming up to me and offering a chance to do a show and a new talent, and just to meet them for lunch one day and discuss everything? Why am I not getting that? Just something simple. That's simple fucking remedial shit. It's not asking for the world. It's fucking simple ass remedial fucktard shit. That's what it is. You said that. I didn't say that. I said this whole country's a fucking shithole. This whole country is a shithole where no one cares about anybody. And you're making it sound like it's just LA, but it's the whole fucking country, all 50 states and all cities. I'm telling you. So don't make it sound like it's an LA thing only. It isn't. This whole country is a beast to deal with. You'll just find other problems. That's all you'll find. The whole country sucks. That's just the fucking truth. The good old USA is not the good USA that people think it is. Why couldn't I make it in the small cities? Why did I have to jet out of them? Why wasn't I getting anywhere if people are so easier to meet in those places? They're really not. They're not any easier over there. Or I would have stayed over in those areas if I was getting my needs met. They're very selfish these days. The USA is the most selfish country in the world right now. With so many peons living here, and so many dickheads that just have a total disregard for everybody around them. That's the kind of country we're in right now. It's not just an LA thing. It's everywhere. So don't think you're going to leave here and not find that anyplace else. If you have to leave LA, just be motivated by other reasons to leave LA. Leave LA is what I would say. And from watching sports, I know just as it is in the sports world, as it is in the real world, having a supporting cast is everything. Having a supporting cast is everything. It's what makes or breaks legends, actually. If they don't have that, they're not getting nowhere. Even Michael Jordan couldn't do it all by himself. But the difference was they didn't constantly rig it against him. That's the only difference here we're talking. Think how good someone could be if the system was not rigged against them to the severity that it is against certain people here. Because I might not do drugs, but I still need my vices to get through. Trust me, I still need the vices that I have to get through. Because this is, these are very lousy times that we're in. And all things opening up for COVID did. You want to know what it really did? I'll tell you what it really did. It just put a teaser out there on people. Like eventually things will go back to how they used to be. Well, they better. Because otherwise I'm going to think it's a teaser. That now more people are trying to make a comeback now after COVID and go out. And even with gas prices being so high, people are still going out every damn day like it doesn't matter. So why is it so difficult? I would think that it would only be more difficult if people were keeping their asses at home all the time. But I don't see people keeping their asses at home all the time. I see them out all the time. So why is it so tough to socialize when everyone practically leaves their house every fucking day? That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of right now. Wouldn't it be harder if no one left their house every day? That's the most logical way of thinking, isn't it? At least if people were hiding in their houses, I would have my answer. I would have all the answers I need. If everyone was just trying to hide from everyone by not going out and using the roads every day, then it would be much easier to figure it out. But no, not everyone's doing that, though. They want to make this the most confusing clusterfuck that there is. The United States of America sucks. It needs total reform. It needs all kinds of shit done to it. It needs to change here, or else we're not going to have a future. We're not going to have a fucking future otherwise. That's it. We're not going to have a fucking future here. Otherwise. Everyone's going out every fucking day. Look at the roads. Wouldn't you think that there's a bar that they're going to, or a party they're all freaking going to, or something, or that there's some kind of a bustling night scene that if people only went out, they could just go somewhere and maybe meet the love of their life, maybe. Those were the old days. Now, you can't even sniff that anymore. It's gotten ridiculous out here. Just all over this country it has. You know? The Zoomers got to suck it up and go to work and make money. And maybe they're mad that they have to do that, don't you think? Because where would you say the Zoomers are? Conservative or liberal? I have not followed the Zoomers well. Are they conservative or are they liberal? They got so many names for all these new generations here. They got so many names for all these new generations, I can't keep track with them anymore, or what political spectrum they're on. I'm normal and everybody else isn't. That's the problem. I'm normal and everyone else isn't. But yet you got tons of people that think just because I'm trans, I must be a fucking freak show, when that ain't the case. I'm an extremely normal person. Extremely. I've just had some very bad circumstances happen to me. I'm out here ranting in a friggin' truck right out here somewhere, you know. I'm just here friggin' voicing my concerns, and I'm out here just to fucking... I show up on video, that's all I really got, because no one wants to fucking socialize, no one wants to do anything. So I'm out here having to keep my distance from people just in case there are whackheads around. That's what I'm doing. But no, it gets to you after a while. It fucking gets to you. It totally does. Totally fucking gets to you. That's it. Right, and I'm out of place and out of time. That's what I totally am. I'm like if someone transported me to another time. That's exactly what I am. And the fact that I haven't changed that, I'm every bit that same person, pretty much. Besides an increase in beer and cigars, maybe. But that's about it. I'm pretty much the same person as I've been since I was a kid. And I'm just reactionary to everything that has gotten worse. But I'm very much the same person now as I was then. Just more developed with more experience. And even then, with more development and more experience, I'm still facing problems. I thought that all I had to do was develop and get more experience in some things, and then all things were set. Or at least that's what I was told when I was growing up. I always thought it was my inexperience that caused me to fail with things. But no, I'm more ready and able than I've ever been, and I'm still failing. So what gives? What gives? And there's even things I can do more now that I couldn't do then. So what gives? I always thought my failure when I was young was blamed on inexperience. But as I got older and older, I realized that wasn't 100% true. Okay? This has nothing to do with anyone on YouTube causing me to do this or cursing me or anything. No, because I'm talking about problems that have happened years ago also. It has nothing to do with right now. Just in case some idiot wants to claim that they put a spell on me or something. Nah, I've been cursed for several fucking years. And I'm still alive. I don't even know how that's possible. How's that still possible? I'm alive and I'm pretty put together decently. I'm not in bad shape at all. So what's the fucking problem? I'm like this person that doesn't have any injuries going on at the time, hardly. I don't have very many injuries or health issues. Yet it's so tough for me. So tough for me. And I even look pretty decent, too. I don't look like I'm strung out or nothing. And yet somehow I got completely left behind and the system fucking rigged it against me. Not yet, but it's going to happen. I'm telling you. I keep warning people I'm going to become a really bad person if things don't change. I'm going to become a worse person than I am. But I'm salvageable. I'm salvageable. But yet no one's here to salvage me. But I'm salvageable. For damn sure. but I cannot do it by myself. I stress it 1.5 million fucking times. I can't do it all by myself. I need someone else kind of pulling it too. I can't just. And it goes back to the Michael Jordan argument. Did Michael Jordan win all those titles by himself? No, he didn't. He had one of the greatest wingmen ever to friggin' win with him, by the name of Scottie Pippen. And then he had Horace Grant also, and a very good head coach. Look, imagine what I could have done if I had all like something similar to that in a certain scenario. But they break you down to where you're totally broken down and you got like very little left. You know? Other people get big breaks all the time that I don't see myself getting. And that's when it becomes a problem, is when I keep seeing that I'm constantly shut out of it and that I'm going to have to get violent just to friggin' eat the next day. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've warned people several times that I don't want to become that person, but I may have absolutely no choice when it gets really bad. I may have absolutely no fucking choice. Or at least get into prison where I'll be fed and housed for free. Or something. I didn't want to see this happen. I never did. I never asked for any of it. Ever. Ever. Well, you know how many times they've been saying that? It better get very bad then. It better get very bad. I hate how they keep trying to prolong a system that has failed. I love how they try to put a Band-Aid on it, but they don't want to just kill everything off. Like they should. Total destruction. I don't care what cost that it is. I'm not going to get affected much by it anyway. I mean, they took everything from me. So why should I feel sorry when other people lose their shit? I shouldn't at all. I should feel zero fucking guilt for her. Zero. Because it's disgusting to me. 100% disgusting. That everyone has succeeded out here and they found a way to rig the system against me. All your classmates are successful besides you. Something's wrong with that. And not all these people will always wrap too tight either. But it isn't all just being a transient. What if you're living in a mundane town for many years? Then you would waste your life all the same. So you could see it from that perspective as well. The kind of life that my hometown offers was not for me. When I wasn't a transient, it still wasn't for me. I would just be living in a place several years, not making the most of myself, like my friend. He still lives in the same town. He developed a bad diet. He lives with his mother. He's lived with his mother for several years. Okay? And he lives in the same town going nowhere. He might have had a few side projects because he knows how to play the piano. But he hasn't gone anywhere to try to be discovered, though, for his talent. He stayed in his hometown. That's what I'm trying to say, and it didn't do him any good. It didn't do him any good. Okay? Yeah, well, it's just where life was going. I didn't plan on it for a long time, you know. The seeds were being put in my head gradually when I was in Omaha. They were getting planted in my head gradually, but I didn't think that I would go ahead and do it when I started settling into Omaha. Do you realize I had a house that I freaking lived in when I was in Omaha, and I was streaming the neighborhood that I was in? Or at least the houses? No, the stores around at least. I planned on staying. I was about to get hired somewhere. I got hired at two places. Two. But I didn't start work for either of them. And then sure enough, I got booted from that house and got swatted off camera. I was about to work and everything. I was going on job interviews. I was I was trying to live that normal life there. But I wasn't even allowed to do that. I wasn't even allowed to do that. That got taken from me. The ability to get and find a job got taken from me because of a stupid fucking housing situation that they caused me to throw me out of that place that I was staying in. Because someone swatted me, and then the word got back to the homeowner, and then the homeowner went right to court and put a protective order on me because I got swatted. That's how I got fucked out of that, right there, and that was privately done. I wasn't here for 4 fucking days on YouTube when that happened. I wasn't around for a while. I was trying to stay off YouTube when that happened to me. So I can't be blamed for any of this. Any of it. You can work here, there's help on its sides. Yeah, but if you have an address, you can. But if you don't have an address, that makes it a lot harder. I had an address to get hired. That's the point I'm trying to say. I had an address in place to get hired 2 times. Technically, I was going to get hired 2 times. Okay, from two places. One was like a new age taco shop. Another one was, well, technically Godfather's Pizza, but they wanted me to come in at 5 in the morning if I had agreed to that. And they wanted me to roll dough. Even with no experience. And I wasn't confident in myself to that degree, at least for that job. So I just said, yeah, I don't know if I'd be the best fit for that. But technically, I got hired just about for 2 jobs. So the point is I can be hired if I want to be. It's just a matter of having a permanent address that will screw you over. Or the only thing I can think of if I was going to do a job anywhere around here is if I tell them that I'm living in a truck and I could probably park it on their property or something. If they hire me there. I don't know. I'll have to get more into that another time. They do, I know, but I could maybe rent a room, but I can't think of that right now because I've been doing this for 3 months and I've been living in here. When I usually get used to a routine, I usually keep my routine. If it isn't screwing with my money is bad or whatever, you know? I had a lot more money in March of 2022, and I might have been a little overconfident because I had more money when I went to South Carolina. Well, because of constant struggling and constant mishaps and the system being rigged against me, I lost a lot of that money. I lost a lot of that fucking money. Alright? That's what fucking happened here. So don't go blaming me to all you fucking haters or whoever wants to play the blame game with me. Don't you dare. I'm gonna kick you out right on the fucking spot. If you ever do. I don't even know if overconfidence is the word, though. But I just know I wouldn't have went to South Carolina if I had a couple $1,000s. I would not have gone there on a low amount of money. I had something like under $25,000 going there. You have to have a lot of money going to a place like that to be eligible for rentals of some kind. And yeah, I'm saying that about a so-called cheap estate too, because they have such a Republican attitude that if you can't get anything there, no one will definitely save you over there. Nobody will. So I thought that those were the states I had to come there with a lot of money to. Easily, just like if you were going to go to California. Everywhere in this country is the same. There's just different ways of doing it. But people are ruthless in America no matter where you're at. It doesn't fucking matter where you're at. There are ruthless people in every fucking state. It's not just over here. It just gets stereotyped a lot more over here. Or in New York or something like that. Or in Boston, but it's bad everywhere in its own way. Employers are actually very understanding about, well, that's good in a way too. If you find an area to settle in, that's actually good. Then I could be almost there now, actually. If that be the case, then I could be almost there now then, if that's the case. There's people out there, they love to take things from you. They love to see it taken from you. You know, the irony is, I have absolutely no proof that Noodles and Barter both were behind me getting swatted in private. There's a chance it wasn't even them. That's what's funny about this. It was someone else entirely, possibly, who set this up. And it wasn't anyone from the Ernie Shell community either. But it was somebody else entirely. I don't even think it was a total Boyd person either. But it was someone who kind of lived near where I was that happened to find my channel. I forget where I found them though, or what. I went to a new channel. Is what I did go to a new channel. And then someone happened to find me who lived in the area is what I think it was. And then someone wanted to lie and take total credit that they paid $10,000 to have someone stalk me who used a Noodles 1980 Muscle Planet account. You think Vaughn's grocery store pays $18 per hour to stock shelves? Now, it's so funny. Why would it be that high, though? And why would it be so readily available? $18 to stock shelves. I was used to a world where everyone would have been lining up to get that job. So why now is it all of a sudden so available? I don't get why that's just in a matter of 5 years that supposedly changed. There was a time you couldn't get one job. But there wasn't a housing crisis either, for sure. That's proven. There was not a housing crisis like now where you couldn't find one job. Yeah, well then you know what that is then? Then that means a bunch of Mexicans are going to friggin' work and take the jobs. That's what it means. They probably have turnover with them too because of a language. And they're probably firing people because of a language barrier too, aren't they? Do you think they possibly have a revolving door because some people have such a bad language barrier also? Do you think that possibly occurs? Why these now hiring signs are up everywhere? Because those kind of jobs would just not be floating around, you know? I want to find out why all these places are hiring. I still don't know the real answer to that. At least out in this area, I would not know for the life of me. Because it seems like wherever I go, everybody's working. It seems like they filled their spots, honestly. If you do fast food, at least, I see that they're all filled. All their spots are filled. No, but people are working, though. Listen to me. I don't see empty holes at stores. I see people working at stores. I don't get this indication that every business desperately needs help. It isn't like it's all empty everywhere. I see workers everywhere I go. So why is this a stunt that they're pulling? Are there really as many jobs as they're saying there are? I cannot prove that. But if you think you know so much, tell me why there's more people working also. Why are not all these places as empty as they want to make it friggin' look? Everywhere I go, people are working. Grocery stores, everywhere. I don't see a shortage anyplace. So I don't know where they're getting this data from, that nobody's working. I don't understand. It makes zero sense. This is such a populated area. Why is nobody working? There's people working. Come on. You've yet to disprove that. But I see people filling these positions all the time. You go into a place, it looks the same as it did in 2008. It looks just about the same. People are working. I mean, I don't get it. I do not get it. This isn't telling me the things that I need to hear, though. Apparently, you're not focusing on what it looks like when you go into the stores, apparently. They look the same as they did 20 years ago. They have the same help. They have the same people pushing cars. They have the same people working in the certain departments. They got the same people doing this and that. They're not empty. They're not empty. Places I don't believe are hiring as much as they're saying they are. I think it's a ploy. I think it's just the front, is what I think. Maybe you might get a job easier than you could before, but is it that much easier? I don't think so. I don't think that much easier. For $18 an hour, there's got to be more people lining up for the jobs. Because years ago, an $8 an hour job had several people lining up. It couldn't have changed that fast. No way. No fucking way. You got to be on serious crack if you believe that everybody's hiring right now. But I'm not buying into the scam. I'm not buying into it. And that's the problem, too. And that's probably why less people are going to work, too. Because they think it's a scam, probably. And that they're not really hiring, like me. But it wouldn't just change in 3 fucking years. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It wouldn't just change in 3 fucking years. All right? It wouldn't. People were waiting in line for $8 an hour jobs in 2008. Why all of a sudden is everybody hiring and they've raised it to $18 an hour and nobody's lining up for the jobs? That sounds a little fishy, if you ask me. Because everyone was lining up for $8 an hour jobs a long time ago when I was more willing to work. Now I don't trust anybody. So that's probably partially why I'm staying out of work and why this is the best thing that could ever happen to me, frankly. Because now I'm skeptical of them. I think they're full of shit. Is seriously what I think. Because they got more than enough Mexicans working in some of these places. I'm telling you, they are still taking people's jobs away. I still see more than enough Mexicans working. These positions are filled. That's just the fucking fact. Unless they're just hanging on to them all as temporary employees, maybe. So they always have the now hiring sign up because the slots are full, but maybe they're just temporary employees. What's the fucking reason? Since you think you know so much. Since you think you're so smart about this. What is your reason? No, that's not enough. Look, that's not going to cut. That's not all lower wage workers, though. This is not what I'm asking you. You're pissing me off. Honestly, you're fucking pissing me off because you don't. This isn't my reality. This isn't what I see. And it wouldn't be any different over there than it is here. I'm sorry. It wouldn't be. It would not be any different there than over here. No way. No fucking way. I'm telling you right now, you're pissing me off with this shit. Again, that isn't my reality. Black market. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to say fuck every other sentence. Because you're fucking pissing me off right now. Tons of LA residents work under the table. Yeah, because they're illegal. That's why. That's probably why they all work under the tables, because they're illegal. Get rid of that, and then maybe something will start to change. So you're telling me that I would have to work under the table or not? So supposedly, but they would still be filling the slots, though, if they were employed, would they not be? Or are those people just stick figures that are replaceable in any minute? I'm not living in that kind of a society. No. Bottom line was, when I was growing up, I was told society was a certain way, and then it ended up being a big troll job on me. When I started to adjust to that, then everything fucking kept changing and pissing me off more. Because I wasn't told it was going to be that way. You tell me something, I gear up for that society that you initially tell me about when I'm a child. Otherwise, I'll have a very hard time adjusting to all the constant changes. That also played a part in me not succeeding also, to a point. Everything just kept changing all the time, and I'm burnt out. I'm fucking burnt out trying to keep up with it. So no, I will not work. I probably won't, because I'm just too burnt out right now to deal with anything. Honestly. You got to give me more information. You got to give me better information than what you've been giving me. Like, give me some key points if you really want to strengthen your case with me here. I'm lost. Dude, you're losing me again. Look, do you like to piss me off? Do you like to see me overreact? Do you like to word things a certain way to get me fucking going, dude? Because you're doing a fucking good job at it. I'll tell you that right now. You're doing a good fucking job at it. It's a damn sure. That means shit. In an area with so many people, 85,000's nothing. It's nothing. That's less than a small city. of homeless people right there. And no, I don't really see them any more than I've seen them any place else. There's people begging for money in fucking Nebraska too. It's not just over here. So stop the fucking shit. I have a big time. I'm getting angrier and angrier though. I'll tell you that. And I'm not afraid to use that if I absolutely need to use that. You got to give me a better answer though. Like, are these people, they have work and replaceable at any given time? Or do they have job security? Like these Latinos working in these places. Do they have job security, or could they get let go at any time? And is that the reason why they keep having the now hiring side up? But they're really full staffed. They are full staffed. Most places are full right now. Unless they're looking to replace tons of people that are there now because they can't hire anybody else. Just get to the point though, all right? Do they want like a bunch of white workers working with them again and they can't get them and that's why they have to hire all these immigrant types? Is that, you have to level with me here. If they can't get a place like mostly white to work with, they'll hire all these others, but do they deem them replaceable in case a white person showed up and wanted to apply the next day or something? Will they fire someone just to bring them on board if they have a chance to get a white worker? That's the kind of shit you're not telling me right there. Well, then that's not how it is then. But why do they have the sign up anyway if they're all fucking, if they're full? If they can't fire people because people are unfireable supposedly, why do they still have the signs up? It's fuckery is what it is. They're making it seem like that we're not living in 2008 anymore in any way. Because back then, an $8 an hour job was fucking being lined up for by 50 people deep looking for that position. 50 fucking people looking for an $8 an hour job back then. And there wasn't as much of a housing crisis, there was an employment crisis. And now there's a terrible housing crisis and supposedly zero employment crisis? Huh. And that just happened in 10 years or 12 years? But that's not just here. Do you realize that's all across the country? You're living in this LA bubble. You think everything that's happening is just happening here. It's happening in all the shithole states that are around also. It's happening in Florida. It's happening in the Carolinas. It's happening in Georgia. It's happening in the Northeast. It's happening in Texas. It isn't just happening here. Fuck. Losing my goddamn mind. And I'm not going to let up from speaking like this unless things are put into a different Well, I can tell you what's happening everywhere else, okay? The same fucking shit. That's what's happening everywhere else. And with worse weather, too. It doesn't matter if you're in Indianapolis. It doesn't matter if you're in Omaha. It doesn't matter if you're in Columbia, South Carolina. It doesn't matter if you're in Tampa, Florida. It doesn't matter if you're in Denver, Colorado. It doesn't matter if you're in Los Angeles. It doesn't matter if you're in Phoenix. It doesn't matter if you're in Portland. It doesn't matter if you're anywhere. It's all corrupt. It all needs to go. All right, well, good. At least you're getting that from watching my channel then, I guess. But you really didn't know about anything going on anywhere. But you know about certain counties in Georgia, though. How do you know about that? I don't know what that is. No idea what that is. The media lies all the time. You don't know what to believe oftentimes. You don't know what to believe because they're all full of shit half the time. Well, funny because George is on my list in the future. If I had not said that before, it partially has something to do with who I'm talking to as well. But at the same time, it's also if I have enough to go there for, I'll do it. If anyone, like I said, if anyone makes me an offer, I'll go if it's enticing enough. And I'll give up the shot at Hollywood if I feel I'm giving something else somewhere else. I'll give up being so close to everything here if I have an enticing office someplace with guaranteed security, at least a guaranteed place to live. But it can't be in the booties. That's the only thing. I have conditions. It can't be way out in the booties. Like, people might want to lure me out to an area that I would not do well out in. And I will not give this shot up here that I'm in for anything like that, even with guaranteed housing. I would not go to a rural area of any kind that I know nothing about. You would like to see me become a star. Well, you could like to see it happen, but it doesn't mean it's gonna. I mean, my name's gonna get out there at some time, but the only thing that I have is my phone. That's all I have to communicate with people. I don't have anything else. Holding up a sign doesn't always get people to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I've done this before. And it's not as easy as one thinks. And this is nobody else's business. Even though my stream is viewable, this is really nobody else's business. You know, this is my personal situation here that I'm going off of here. What's going on out here for me. So no one has a right to comment on it as far as I'm concerned. Even if they do, they really shouldn't have the right to. And try to belittle me. Because that's what these people will friggin' do sometimes. They will friggin' do that. They'll take a discussion like this that I'm having where I'm voicing pure disgust, and they'll yell at me for having that disgust. And trying to make me feel more like shit. So they have absolutely no right to do that as far as I'm concerned. No right. Absolutely no right. Even if they technically can. That's what Abby would have done. Okay, that's what fucking Abby would have done anyway. I wouldn't have had to have mentioned her name. She would watch me ranting like I'm ranting now, okay, and she'd find something stupid to say. So it doesn't matter if you bring her name up or not, you know? It doesn't. She'll insert herself in. That's why you gotta always mention her name, you know? MFW will not become a reality. Because she did not come to Hollywood. You did the right. So shouldn't this increase my chances? Is what I'm saying. Shouldn't this increase my chance? Wouldn't it be a travesty if nothing happened? And I showed up here and nothing happened. Wouldn't that be a travesty? That if MFW came here, she would have got it. Or something. But I wouldn't get it. Her chances would be better than me if she came here. I know that for a fact. But she isn't. So you would think that that's a spot that I could have, right? I'm not doing this for no reason at all. I'm hoping that I am getting a payoff for this at some friggin' point. Because I always hear the best say they suffered so much. They suffered before they made it big. They lived in a vehicle before they made it big. They haven't had a shower in a couple months before they made it big. I keep hearing so many stories how people have done it. So shouldn't the same rules apply to me also? Shouldn't they? At least you know that you gave it a real shot. Well, I don't want to accept second place though in this because I went all this way. I mean, to do this, I mean, I don't want to accept second place here. I really don't. Because it's just the fact that the thought will always be in my head that if someone else came here, they would get picked before me. That's the thought I always have to think about in the back of my head. And no, not on pure talent alone, because their skin color is favorable, because their hair color is acceptable, because their hair flows the right way at the right time for them, where I might have a day where it doesn't. I'm not John, number one, ringleader. I don't go by male pronouns, so you're going to have to get that shit out of your head right now. All right? You're not going to address me as John. All right? It's Melton John or it's Lady Melton. All right? Respect. I don't go by John. All of the IRL people I watch, you are the only one who actually mentioned Hollywood that actually drove all that way out here. Just me. Well, the others had to have got here somehow, though. I mean, what do you think about Lala in Los Angeles? What are her chances of getting famous? Andy Dick failed, and he's living, I think, in the same place that she's living in. I mean, I absolutely wouldn't mind if I could go where they're staying at least. And maybe not park right beside them, but be in the same general vicinity as them. She's just a chick with the fatty ass. But she still looks quite good, though. All right, Ringleader. Okay. But she still looks good, though. I don't consider her someone just because she's got a fatty ass. That doesn't mean anything bad at all. This is a lot of time for me to be live, by the way. I don't like to go this long. It's really bad on me. So this is my time that I'm spending where I don't think I even got a single donation for this, actually. I don't think I got a single donation in this stream right here. I should have. I do, yes. Karen Zolmin, yes, I do, yes. Why, do you or do you not? Yeah, well, I got going and I don't stop. That's sometimes what happens when I do have it on a while. I'll get going and I don't stop, and then I'll lose track of time. My time that I shouldn't really be spending a lot of time on here. You're a retired Chad. Okay. Well, I guess that's good then. Let me ask you something. In real life, have you met anybody kind of like John Kreese around where you live? Is there a similar person to him that you've ever run into over in your area? Unless it's you, and I don't even know that. Unless it might be you. And only my wife would put up with the rest. So are you kind of similar to John Kreese then in a way? Who are you kind of like that's on the show? Anybody? Oh, you don't watch Karate Kid or Cobra Kai? You don't watch that? Oh, okay. All right. What do you think about Opie? Like Opie and Anthony? What do you think about people like that? Opie and Anthony Cumia? Because I found Opie Radio this morning. I mean, I just found Opie's YouTube channel this morning. And I found this channel right here that I have put their name in the title here. I found them earlier doing a morning stream for this guy, but he could have faked his own death. He faked his own death one time here, actually. Okay, you don't know. Wow, you don't know a lot of people. Picture prank calls and stuff. Picture they used to do prank calls and funny promotional songs, okay? They used to be on a hard rock station. Their prank call segments would be played. Think like Howard Sternish, but not quite like Howard Stern, if that makes sense. Funnier than Howard Stern. Think like calling up a Home Depot and asking for a butt plug, okay? And they keep repeating butt plug. Huh? Butt plug. What do you use it for? Butt lug? Is it like a receptacle? Butt plug. Huh? Butt plug. What do you use it for? Butt plug. Butt plug. That kind of shit. That's what they do, kind of. That's what they did. I thought they were funnier than Howard Stern, honestly. Yeah, they call like, yes, butt plug? Huh? Butt plug. Bug box. Spark plug. Like someone answer them. Butt plug. Spark plug. What kind? Butt plug. Huh? Butt plug. This guy moved. You know who moved out to L.A.? I'll tell you who moved out to L.A. If you want to know who moved out to L.A., this guy. He's the only other one who probably did other than me. That guy right there. He did. Notice a similarity, kind of? He looks a little bit like me if I had put those sunglasses on before. That probably would have looked like me, actually. Boston area guy. Okay, right there. Moved to LA to play his Bruce Springsteen wrestling act. Robbie Roadstein. He was like a WWE Bruce Springsteen kind of hybrid. Right there. Postcards from the Den of Failure is the album. Postcards from the Den of Failure. So he recognized failing to a point. Postcards from the Den of Failure. That's the album right there. Now that's on the idea on kind of like what I was talking about, kind of gimmicks, funny song lyrics, about internet girlfriends being bigger in person than they are online. He sings about internet girlfriends. He sings about like just all different crazy stuff though. I'm sorry your cat has ass cancer. Give me two bases. Give me two bases in the Corsica. I put a baby in you. You want me to read this for you? I put a baby in you because you kept talking about going to college. So I put a baby in you. Now you got something to do. Wash the baby. Clean the baby. I'm going to go play Keno. I put that baby in you because you kept hanging out with your friends. So I put a baby in you. Now the baby's going to be your only friend. And the video was so fucked up. The baby was like a guy he hung out with. They put the face on the baby's body. They put his face on the baby's body. And he was like spooging up shit. It was a pretty fucked up video. I'll tell you. This is a pretty fucked up. This is a twisted guy right here, kind of. Talk about twisted. Postcards from the Den of Failure from Robbie Roadstein. That's a twisted album. All right, Melissa, thank you. All right. You sobered up that singer from Jane's Addiction. So you met him for sure. You met Perry Farrell in real life. You met him. You really met him. So I really liked him on one particular album too. Like, oh, for real? So you're telling me he met you and then he became famous somehow? Because you must have put an energy in him or something if he got famous. You met Perry Farrell. That's wild. That's something else. What was he like before he was famous? I'm kind of doing now what people did back then, wasn't I? And the competition would have been a lot thicker back then if I had done it back then. More than likely. Yeah, that's how kind of I would picture him, believe it or not. Like, he would talk to you and shit, definitely. Yeah. But my favorite album of his was actually Good God's Urge when he was with Porto for Pyros. That was actually my favorite album that he was actually on. A very underrated album. It was a very good album though. They all did, yeah. So would you say that right now I'm doing exactly what people did in the 80s when they came here? I'm doing now what they did in the 80s probably. Only I'm the one doing it now. Cheap Trickers from Hollywood. I thought they were from the Midwest. So you see that I'm the only one doing it, the only one on that can be in the same conversation as a Perry Farrell type of person. I mean, that's an honor if I could be put in the same discussion as Perry Farrell. I mean, that guy made it huge. Even if I'm just a singer in a band, he's a singer in a band too. I mean, Perry Farrell also, he had a head start in New York City also. I know that he grew up in New York City. He was homeless out here for a minute, and then where did he go after that? Back to Indiana or something? Because, Axl Rose is from Indiana. I was kind of around where he was. Same with David Lee Roth, too. David Lee Roth is from Indiana. For real, huh? Let me ask you something. Do you think I should meet Andy Dick, or do you think I should stay far from Andy Dick? And do you think meeting him would help things to a point? I'd say 50-50, maybe. I'd say 50% yes, 50% no. If I had to guess, it could go either way, probably. Do you think I should go anywhere near Andy Dick or no? Okay. But he hangs around Lala from Los Angeles. I think they live together, don't they? So can a lot of people. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with them, honestly. How about Minnie Manson? Do you think I should give Minnie Manson a shot, possibly to form this wolf transgender community? I'm going to recruit Minnie Manson if it's worth my time. Because that got people going when I said I wanted to create a transgender wolf community. That got Slingshot Warrior going with Noodles. I should recruit Minnie Manson, correct? Is that what you're saying? Are you confirming that I should get together with Minnie Manson on something here? Should I recruit that person? Should I? He's not. So I should, yes, to Minnie Manson, and tell me why. Tell me why. How about one person that I will not recruit at all because it's been proven that he's a certain way, okay? I never ended up on a panel with this particular person, but a few people were when he first came to the community, this Quindarius Jones guy. That's who I never really had any desire to be around, even though he's technically in the LGBT and whatever, and he was hanging in this community around Noodles and some other people, and he went on G Mangoes and stuff like that. But I'm thinking of two people I've never been on a panel with, and he's one of them. And Minnie Manson's another person I've never been on a panel with. So there's certain people I've never been on a panel with, believe it or not, that it just never happened. Even though I might have saw them or watched a chat they were in. Or... Did you see me earlier? I ate this Peruvian buffet. Did you see that earlier or no? Did you catch any of that stream? Do you know the one that I'm talking about or no? It actually turns out so this is your thing then. You've always liked to meet them. So you're somebody who. So you're technically Noodles done more perfected. You're someone who's been into being like the regular guy, but who meets up with other people who could make you famous or whatever. Because that's what he's doing right now. Only he's more twisted and more messed up about doing it by far. But he's technically doing it. He works a job. He comes home, but he wants to make this kind of shit his life kind of thing. He wants to meet potential celebrity types, or he says he knows celebrities and all that. Oh, he is. But he's been around people. I know that for a fact. He has been around people, but whether he was well received or not is another story. But I know that he's been around other people. And he hooks up with people who he thinks have talents so he can use them. That's what he does. So your Noodles done the right way. That's why I said you're like Noodles done the right way, because you meet people for real, and you don't really fuck with them though, but you meet them and they might even become famous at some point after you met them, almost like you got an energy to you or something. Right. Now let me ask you this: what do you think about Billy the Fridge? Do you think he has talent, or is he an example of someone who made it just because he's like he appears the way he does? He's like a fat, pale guy. Do you think he got it based on his looks and nothing else? What do you think? You used to be. Huh, all right. No, Billy the Fridge is an IRL streamer in the Seattle area. He's like in the Seattle area, and he's walked the streets. Look up Billy the Fridge, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a chance he might have made it more bigger just virtue of him being, there at the right place at the right time. You know. Yeah, well, he's still here. I mean, he's an IRL streamer. Surprised you never heard of him. He's on the Drunken Peasants. You know the Drunken Peasants. What do you think of those people, the Drunken Peasants? What do you think of that? The Amazing Atheist and a couple of others. Yeah, so you saw Celebrity Potential in Cruiser, is that correct? You had to have, if you were over there. Do you see potential celebrity in him, or do you see him as a pretender mostly? Someone who doesn't have any idea of his own. But he's also somebody who you don't want to get mixed up with either. That's also been proven. Cruiser is somebody you don't want to get mixed up with because look what happens when you do. I got another question for you. Speaking of Cruiser, do you think Molasses Murphy can make it famous? Do you think she has it in her to be famous? And do you think that Molasses Murphy, would it be in her best interest to just team with me and disregard everybody else on here, on YouTube? That's what you want to see. But whether she'll do it or not is the big question. That's what I'm saying, Kara's old man. I think that she's easily influenced by people. If it wasn't for that, I would be more willing. I would be more willing. She might have a weird plan here with this Anderson thing. Now, I'm keeping an eye on it. This may tie into some plan to do this very thing. Who the hell knows? She's funny like that. You never know what she's gonna do. Sometimes. Oh, Deeds, nothing's really going on. Yeah, well, glad you put that out there. It's all the more food for thought that needs to be thrown out there, then. No, I already discussed everything. I already talked to her a little bit about it, but I just think that she's easily influenced by people. She can be pulled to different sides, you know? My opinion, though. But that's what I'm saying. I see the money with that. I definitely see it. And I see other things also. I don't see just the money with it, but I see the all-round picture. Yeah, but she keeps going back to people. That's her downfall. She'll keep going back to these people and then I'm just going to give up on it totally. I know that's what you want to see. That's what anyone who sees real talent wants to see. They want to see collaborations of perfectly fit people to be around each other. Not not all this fuckery shit. I would not collaborate with Tasha Teeling. That's someone I would not meet up with. It could have happened, but I stopped it from happening. And Abby. Abby would be a very horrible person to try to do anything with, too. But Molasses Murphy has the most potential of them all, but she just gets very easily influenced by others. That's a big downfall of hers. They'll see that she's working with me and they'll try to pull her away from me and they'll know it will work. You know what I'm saying? You saw it happen once, didn't you already? These people like Hazel's Reptiles, these fucking devil-minded people like Hazel's Reptiles, they're bad people out here. Noodles, Anderson to a good degree too, and just anybody else. Zombie, I don't know about him. Slingshot. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he is. And so is Hazel, too. Hazel needs to be kicked out also. Hazel's terrible. Have you ever followed Hazel? She's hated in other communities too. I had someone literally tell me I know who you're talking about there. And Hazel, that person did show up in a community that I was in before. That's who tried to subvert Molasses in me when I was on there, the day that I was talking to her. Yeah, well, that's a very good call to not be a fan of hers. Hazel's a terrible bitch. She causes so much trouble. She's awful. And the thing is, and she'll act real nice. It's a fake front though. Yeah, me neither. He's a piece of shit, big mouth, isn't he? He's someone that you just want to fucking knock the hell out if you see it. I would definitely do it if I saw him. Definitely. But Ouija Loke seemed more funny before he came out and showed who he really was, didn't he? Didn't he have us fooled a little bit, though? He kind of did, didn't he? Like, he seemed alright at one time for a little bit, I think. Right. But Hazel went up on Molasses' panel. You know, I was talking to her one time in the morning, and you know who the first person who came up on panel was? Hazel, because she knew that I didn't want her stupid ass up there, and that she could use her fake act to manipulate Molasses. That's how that freaking happened. So she subverted the whole fucking thing and made me lose interest. That's the kind of shit. Hazel's worse than these Jews that they claim are the problem in Hollywood. Hazel is that and more. For damn sure. Hazel's like that fucking Jew who pulls the strings. That's Hazel in a nutshell. Someone like her. You don't even need Jewish people to do that shit. Because someone like that will always do it. That's the freaking thing. Yeah, Hazel is always around. Very, very psychopathic type of person. For sure. Very sneaky. Can't stand her fucking ass. Probably more than the rest, actually. A wannabe puppet master. You're so right. Hazel will kill any channel. She's here to kill channels. That's what she's here for. She's here to kill channels. She's here to kill relationships. She's here to kill anything that can potentially be good. And Molasses fell hook, line, and sinker for her. And ended up putting me in the backstage. And all that. But I see what's going on here. And McHenry used Molasses also. Think about that. McHenry's a piece of shit too in a way, because didn't he use her as well? He saw that she would jump and do anything for him, and he used that until he didn't have any use for her anymore. Let's be real. Cruiser did that. He used her till he couldn't use it, since he didn't feel, and when he didn't feel like he couldn't use her anymore, he just discarded the whole thing, is what I think. And then called her a stalker and all that. Anything to get rid of her, but he let her on. He let her on is what happened here. I think that he let her on enough and then just discarded her when it was convenient for him, is what I say. You believe that he truly was because it seemed like he was partially acting when he was. I mean, I don't know, it seemed like he was acting the way he did his videos, the music he played, and it looked like he wanted that kind of a reaction. Then she visited Anderson. Who the hell knows how that went? Now they're saying she forced herself on them. This has got beyond ridiculous. So I'm just going to let this whole thing clear the air. And I'm not even going to. All right. He said that she forced him to do things. Like if it wasn't total force, it was enough force to make it so he would be stuck up there if he didn't do what she said or something. Those are the things that he made it all sound like. So, someone's lying here. Someone is lying here, correct? Someone is. And what are the chances it's Cruiser lying? I say it's high, to be honest with you. I say the chances are high that he fabricated that story, probably. Because I couldn't picture her being the type to like hold a knife to his neck and say, I won't give you a ride to the airport if you leave. You're going to be stuck out here if you leave. I couldn't see her saying that. Even if she's got flaws, I still can't see her saying that to him. Honestly. Okay. You watch, but it seems to me like you truly want Molasses Murphy and me to hook up. But she'll listen to people. She's very impressionable. I don't trust any of these other people or her, too, with her own decisions due to being misled either. So you'll want it. You put the word out there, and it's documented. You put the word out there that you also want to see that. So that's on record now as well. That's on record. How do I know what? How the fuck do I know what? Spit it out. What? What? How did I know what? Maybe it would happen. Maybe I have to officially confirm it for this to be looked at as more serious. Maybe other people said it, but I never really bought into it, really. I mean, she's in the same friggin' area, for Christ's sakes. I don't think, under most ordinary circumstances, I would say it's a nothing to lose move, totally, to try to do, but she just can't be easily influenced by people, especially when I'm around her. She can't be going on YouTube and talking to them, I'll say that. Not those people, anyway, no. And here's the thing I always hate. Just because I tell somebody that they can't talk to a few people if they're going to talk to me, right? They see me as controlling, and then all these other people try to tell someone like Molasses that I'm being controlling, and then she'll believe them. I'm a very professional person. I like things done the right fucking way. All right? It's not about looks, all right? I'm not talking about looks here. All right? I'm focusing on the point is that she is easily manipulated by people. From everything that I have said, they'll manipulate her to think that I'm an extremely controlling person that would cut every fucking contact off in her life. No. That is such bullshit, it isn't even funny. That is total bullshit. And everybody knows it. The bad people, that's it. But it seems like every time I even clarify the bad people, they're still hanging around her fucking chats. So I've lost interest at this moment, unless something can change. But I don't hold a whole lot of hope for it, honestly. Because she has to come out and say that these people are bad too, and she can't give them another chance herself. That's what she has to be in order for this to work. She can't think Noodles is a good person. She can't think Hazel's a good person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she has a fucking friend in real life, doesn't she? And these people managed to convince her that I'd make her cut off all her friends or something. They are. They're vultures who don't want good things to happen. That's what they are here. And they need to be exposed for being vermin and fucking rats. Every fucking last one of them. And Slingshot Warrior too. He's in that group to a point as well now. Since he wants to be in full participation. I wouldn't do what? If anything, I'm a bodyguard type of person. If anything, I am like a true bodyguard type for somebody. I guess because of my size, I've kind of been that way. That's really how I would be if I was around somebody. Honestly. No, I will look after people that I care for, but I will not look after them if they're going with the wrong crowds. Then I will start to resign myself, especially over the internet. It's on record that I said this here. It's totally on record. And if anyone dares challenge me to tell me again some more that I'm bad or I'm doing this or they think I'm going to do this, well then they have no place to speak on it then. They're just mad that I'm calling out their kind of person. They're a piece of shit. That's what they fucking are. They're a piece of fucking dog shit. And they need to be told that. Hundreds of times if that's what it fucking takes. I deal with enough shit out here as it is. I'm glad I'm finally in a spot where I don't have to deal with so much shit now. I mean, really. At least interfering with my day-to-day life. At least I can get the focus a little bit better than it was. Yeah. Well, it better be soon because my patience is run out. It better be soon. And I'm going to put that out there as well. It better be soon. There's only so long I'm going to wait for her to come to her senses about them as well. It should have been realized long ago. It should have been realized at least a couple weeks ago. At least in the case of Noodles, it absolutely fucking should have been. Anyone who keeps going back is knuckle dragging me to death. If they keep going back to bad people when I literally tell them that isn't what they need to do, then I'm going to fucking get the fuck out of their life and they ain't ever going to hear about it again. And technically I gave up on molasses too last week. Technically I did. But you're suggesting that maybe I shouldn't so soon. I'm just watching everything play out. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to comment on nothing with this allegation about Anderson. Molasses has something up her sleeve with that, though. I know what it is, too. I'm not going to say, but I know what it is. Maybe this is her way of partially pushing things together here. Who knows? Maybe it actually is. In a weird way. Maybe she figures she has to do this with Anderson. But I don't know. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it, though. Yeah, he's that paranoid. He probably would. He's that paranoid. Hey, did you see the live stream where this Chola was thinking about Senator Boyce to me one night when I was on a live stream? And did you see at the end of the live stream that I got provided with the baseball bat hanging on the ground? Did you see that? Did you see that stream when the baseball bat was just laying on the ground for me to grab as I was about to shut it off? You didn't see that. I found a loose baseball bat on the sidewalk right as I was about to shut it off. But that was a stream that a chica and her friends, she was threatening me with sending a few of her boys out to look for me to fuck me up on a live stream. Right, but that's what happened before that, actually. That was a heavy stream in that way. I was in Long Beach. I was in Long Beach that night, over there by the casino. in Hawaiian Gardens. Hawaiian Gardens, technically. Three weeks now. Probably three now. Maybe it was two, but maybe it was almost three. You know what Hawaiian Gardens reminded me of? Lowell. And so did Log Beach to a point also. It reminded me of Lowell. You've heard me say that, right? Kind of remind me of Lowell. How even people who lived in the suburbs went into the city of Lowell sometimes. So it wasn't like totally a segregated area. Like everyone kind of went in and out of Lowell and back to the suburbs, then back into Lowell again and stuff. Yes. Yes. Lowell and Long Beach have some similarities, actually. Hawaiian Gardens, actually, I thought Hawaiian Gardens resembles areas that were very close to me, actually, when I grew up. So I saw Hawaiian Gardens. I'm like, I'm familiar with this kind of area. This is Lowell, Mass. In a nutshell, right here, as well as East Long Beach, where Snoop Doggy Dogg grew up. That's like areas near downtown Lowell, actually, on some of the side streets. Well, Long Beach reminds me of Lowell, actually. So, what do you think about communities like Torrance? Or, like, do you think it's like anything in New Jersey? Do you think Torrance or Lawndale or Inglewood is like anything in New Jersey? Because, see, I have comparisons to Massachusetts also with some of these areas. Like, for instance, Torrance could be like Lexington, Mass, actually. Torrance, like with the Japanese population, reminds me of Lexington to a point. And it's a nicer community than anything on the beach in Massachusetts. Unless we're talking about Winthrop, maybe. Or something. New Jersey's like a big suburban area in between. It sucks there. I know. I wouldn't want to live in New Jersey. Because you know why I don't like New Jersey? Because it seems like assholes like Noodles are everywhere there. If you're not going to meet someone like him, you're going to meet someone like Michelle Kay. You're going to meet someone like John Camillo. I just don't think it's a likable place, and the people aren't that likable, really, overall. There seems to be a lot of scumbags in New Jersey. They seem to be the riffraff that goes to places like Lago, Florida. That's what it seems like. Probably more than Philly people, even. It's probably all of New Jersey flooding Lago. Or a community like that. But even the ones who do, though, even the ones who do, they go to Lago, Florida. Or somewhere like that, and they scum it up. That's what they do. But isn't there such thing as scummy New Jersey residents who leave New Jersey because they can't afford it anymore? Isn't there such thing as that as well? Or do all the terribly scummy people from New Jersey stay there for life? Like, what's the deal with that? They're probably from the northern part too, though. They're just the ones like Michelle K. They probably get kicked out of their parents' house and they gotta go to Florida. They're probably refugees because they have nowhere else to go. Well, how about Craig? How would you rate Craig? He's technically from New Jersey too. How would you rate Craig if you had to put anything on him? The best of the lot, maybe, but still has problems. But the best of the lot, perhaps. Is that what you would say or not? Yeah, like probably like Pansy Grotsky, actually. Probably originally from New Jersey too, probably. Pansy Grotsky looks like someone who's Polish and from New Jersey, probably, if I had to guess. Because that one went to Newport Richie too, yeah. So you're very familiar with Newport Richie. That's actually funny. It's a shitty place, though. Newport Richie. It's not that nice out there. You know who lived out in Newport Richie for a little bit? Pennywise. He actually lived in Newport Richie for a little bit. Yeah, well, apparently Noodles is part of that union, and he uses that to be a fucking jerk. That's what he's doing with that. He's in a union through his family or something, and he's using that to his advantage. Listen to me. Florida's mediocre in general. People move to Florida to be mediocre. They think that they go there. They think it's the best place in the world because it's got palm trees and a beach, but it's got high humidity, and the cost of living's lower for a reason. And it's not even all that low. It's going up big time now. So again, it all influenced my decision to do what I did, and even live out of a truck if I need to. That's what happened. Right, but Southwest Florida is the pits, though. Southwest Florida has some of the most flaky people that I've ever run across. They just got nothing, like no substance at all, really, over there. Liars, projectionists, but they won't be honest about it either. They won't. Like Tasha Teelan's a scam artist. But Tasha's probably a more honest person than the rest of them about it to a point. But we'll still try to deflect like they do. It's just she gets caught more out in the openly. More out in the open. But being like that is not totally unusual for there either, though. There's a lot of scumbags in Florida. A lot. I'm going to tell you now, they like to lie a lot. Yeah, did you see my streams? When I showed all the litter on the ground over there, did you see that or not? Cocoa Beach, New Smyrna, Ormond Beach. It looked worse than LA, didn't it? Didn't it look worse than over where I am? Especially for pedestrian courtesy, there was like zero. You saw me get hit by the cars several times almost, right? You saw people not stop at all, right? You saw that I had to friggin' scream at everyone in a fucking intersection like all the time over there. Correct? You saw that. Well, wherever I was, yeah. I mean, when I was in the apartment complex or the motels. Yeah, the motel. That's what you're talking about. I'm not staying on here that long, Herb. I'm gonna shut off soon. I mean, you came in at the tail end. Hit and run drivers in motels, yes. There's motels here that probably the same price, honestly. They're probably the same exact price. I haven't checked, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're more expensive in Tampa now than they are here. I I had Peruvian food earlier. I had soup. I had fried rice. Hey, did you know this? I didn't know this until very recently. Do you know Chinese food is big within the Peruvian culinary scene? Did you know they incorporate Chinese food into their other food? That's actually why they had fried rice there. It's more common than you think, it turns out, to have fried rice in Peruvian food now. Yes. And the stuff I had at the Peru restaurant was better than a lot of the other Chinese restaurants, I thought. They fried it better even, I thought. So who knows? Maybe Peruvian food is the ticket to getting good Chinese food now. Because they've adopted an amount of it, it turns out. They do. I think you might be right about that. Even if they eat the fried food, right? Because they have a combination of vegetables and fried food. So it isn't all bad for you. It's even if you get overfilled on it, you're not going to die. You're never going to die from it. You might get a little sick from overeating, but that's about it. That's what I mean. It isn't as bad for you as they say it is. They only say that so you won't eat it. That's what they say. And many Americans still will not eat Chinese food because it's demonized. People will say, don't eat Chinese food, it's horrible for you. But I'll tell you what's bad for you. I think vegan restaurants, vegetarian, are pretty bad in health more than people want to admit. Or, but not just McDonald's. Another example of food that isn't good for you is anything like, I think In N Out is probably worse for you than McDonald's. With all the salt in it, I could bet you In N Out is worse for you than McDonald's. I could bet that it is. Or, or some examples I can't think of, but I know there's a certain food that could potentially be worse for you than Chinese food, but it isn't commonly in the media stereotypes that it's worse for you, but it might just be. I just can't think of what it is right now. I think maybe Mexican food is worse for you than Chinese. I think Mexican food might be worse for you than Chinese food, actually. Come to think about it. Because they have more flour tortillas and all that stuff. And I don't know. You can fuck off, bitch. You can fuck the fuck off. He's got all you fucking clowns working for him, so he's a genius at doing that apparently. If he's not here, and then he acts like he has no involvement about all the shit that goes on with people down here. Yeah. But he employs all you fucking clowns to do his dirty work for him when he isn't here. Fucking weasel is what he is. He somehow, I don't think, had much to do with what happened to me. I don't think he even did. That one wasn't his. He might want to take credit for that one, but that one wasn't his. That was somebody else altogether. He did everything else, though. I'll say that. All right. he tries to set the stage for a lot of bad things to happen to people too. He says it's going to happen, and then when it happens, he says, "See, I told you so." He tries to do that, but he got that from me. He copied me. I did that. I saw what was going to happen out there, and when it happened, he saw that I was right. So he tried to copy me and say, "This is what's going to happen now," and he tried to push his projection of what he thinks is going to happen. He wants it to come true when it happens every time. All right, well, I'm going to shut off now. It's been a good talk to those who stuck in here. Kara's old man. Yes, I'm going to check your email now. All right. While I'm charging my phone, I'm going to check. I'm going to check your email very soon. Bye. Done with the stream now. Bye. Bye. Gotta go. Gotta go.